Good afternoon, and welcome to Fifth Third Field here in downtown Toledo, Ohio. You are listening live to WCBN Sports' presentation of Michigan baseball, and we got a really exciting one here this evening from downtown Toledo, Ohio, as the Michigan Wolverines travel south down US 23 to take on the Toledo Rockets at the home of the Toledo Mud Hens, the Detroit Tigers AAA affiliate. What a beautiful ballpark, beautiful setting, beautiful day, and excited to be on this call with you. I'm Peter Nasr. Alongside me is Daniel Olson. And Dan, Michigan's been playing really well recently. They've won 6 of their last 8. They've done well in the conference play. Took care of 2 or 3 against Minnesota over the weekend. And what are you looking forward to in this midweek game before they resume a Big Ten play this upcoming weekend?
Well, you mentioned it. Michigan is playing some of their best baseball of the season. You said 6 of their last 8. They're also 8-4 in the conference, which is good enough for third in the Big Ten. They've won 4 conference series in a row, as have this Toledo Rockets team. They've also won 4 conference series in a row, won winners of 5 of their last 7, took 2 out of 3 from Kent State this past weekend. And in these midweek non-conference games is a chance for a lot of younger players to get an opportunity to play today. As we get into these lineups here in a second, we'll kind of see a bunch of freshmen in the lineup for the Wolverines, but both of these teams very capable of scoring some runs. And with the weekend pitchers, typically the better pitchers on this team, we should see some pitching that maybe lends to some more hitting tonight, especially with these prolific offenses. So should be a lot of runs crossing the plate, and it's a beautiful day for it, as you mentioned. Big ballpark as well. We'll get into that throughout the game, but should be a fun one here.
Yeah, really excited. You mentioned the offense. Toledo, for one hand, they've scored 11-plus runs their past 4 games. Their offense has been potent recently. Michigan as well has been hitting the ball well. And when these two teams faced off in March in Ann Arbor, the Wolverines took care of business 7-6, a little higher scoring in that case, with Michigan winning with a walk-off single from Alex Caruso. But as for this game, these two teams have played for the first time it will be in Toledo since 2000 are the Michigan Wolverines, and as the Toledo Rockets are running out of the field, we're just about to get excited to go underway here. Thank you for tuning in once again. WCBN Sports' presentation of Michigan Wolverines baseball live from Toledo, and Toledo Rockets will be sending out Yanni Skiriotis. Excuse me, that's a little mouthful. Yanni Skiriotis, the transfer from the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's 3.38 ERA, 1-1 on the year. This is his 10th appearance and just his 3rd start for the Rockets. They're wearing their all-white, little classic unis for the Rockets. Michigan wearing their grays, and we'll run through the lineup in a second for the Wolverines as we get started to go with A.J. Garcia leading things off for the Wolverines. But, Dan, any final thoughts before we get underway? Just moments away from first pitch here. Beautiful day, 60 degrees here.
Well, we were looking at Skiriotis both kind of in the bullpen and now here on the bump from our beautiful view, by the way.
Yeah,
right
they perked us really nicely
home
here.
Plate here, windows open, breeze flowing in. A little monitor for us to follow here as well, which is an added perk. But looks like Skiriotis with the big frame, big body, and on that mound that's, again, 6 inches elevated from the surface. He's certainly going to be coming, kind of driving downhill with that arm action, and Michigan's going to have to be ready because that ball's going to get on them quick. And as you said, Michigan's been hitting well, and Garcia's been at the forefront of that, starting in the last 16 games once Big Ten play has come around, and he's hitting 327 since that start. So it's been a solid leadoff hitter as the freshman for the Wolverines.
Yeah, that 327 average is second best on the team since in the past 16 games. And Garcia hit his first career home run on Saturday. He had 2 runs and 3 RBIs in the series against Minnesota, but we're just about getting ready to roll here. Thanks for tuning in as Skiriotis winds and deals. The first pitch of the ball game is swung on, grounded to second. That's going to get by in for a leadoff single. A.J. Garcia, first pitch swinging, and he gets it into right field.
And on cue, Garcia aggressive early in the count. That was a fastball right around 86 miles an hour according to that big screen, and Garcia, nice job staying with it, taking it to right field, and Wolverines got a runner on here early.
Now Mitch Voigt will bat for the Wolverines with a runner on first base and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Off speed, is in the zone for a strike.
A nice pitch from Skiriotis. Kind of started at Voigt and broke back into the strike zone. Good bounce back after allowing that first pitch hit.
Here's the 0-1 to Voigt. Swung and grounded, foul towards the Toledo Rockets dugout to our left on the third base side. And Mitch Voigt has been Michigan's best hitter all year long, hitting .320. Got 16 doubles on the year, which is tied 10th nationally. But he's behind on the count 0-2. Here's that pitch. That's going to be low and in the dirt. Runner's going to second, and Garcia's going to slide in there, and he will get into second base. So he advances on the ball pitched in the dirt. So Michigan, early runner in scoring position here with nobody out here in the top of the first.
Kind of a tough pitch for Braden White, the catcher for Toledo, to throw down on. Bounced in the dirt, and Garcia had a nice jump over there at first, slid in easily.
Yeah,
you mentioned Voigt being a prolific hitter for the Wolverines, as it seems like Garcia's having some equipment issues here.
There we go.
The 1-2 count has to be protective and do his job here. Any ground ball to the right side of the infield is a successful bat for Mitch Voigt.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. The catcher will fire over to first base to record the out. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Garcia held at second. So Toledo gets that all-important first out here in the inning. And Steven Ristich will step in the batter's box for the Wolverines now with the runner in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Ristich. Off speed, taken for a ball, low.
So we've seen a couple of pitches from Skiriotis so far. It's that fastball and that curveball combo. He's tried to keep everything low since that first pitch fastball.
Take another one low in the dirt as well.
On cue, it's another breaking ball in the dirt, but can imagine that after leaving that first pitch fastball up to Garcia, Skiriotis making a conscious effort to keep it low in the zone.
Here's a 2-0 from Skiriotis. That's going to be high, pop up over our head and out of play. So the count will go to 2-1 now on Ristich. Got team high 1,000 OBS, and he's going to take a pitch into his shoulder. So hit batter, Ristich will take his base. And the Wolverines will have runners on first and second here in the top of the first inning. We'll see if they can capitalize here with just one out. And Colin Priest coming up for Michigan. The lefty Priest waits on the first pitch. Here it comes. He's going to catch the outside corner of the zone for strike one.
Skiriotis painting the edge there. Excellent first pitch. Kind of sets the eye level as well for the batter, Priest.
The 0-1 is taken for call strike two as well. So Priest will fall behind quickly, 0-2 here.
This is where I'd expect, after two pitches low, a potentially fastball upstairs here.
That pitch is going to be fastball outside.
It's all about changing the hitter's eye level, right? Priest just saw a fastball low, curveball low. They went fastball outside. Good pitch, make him think it's maybe catching that corner.
1-2 is swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. So Colin Priest strikes out, and there'll be two outs here in the top half of the first inning.
And that's a beautiful finish, that at-bat sequence pitching there for Skiriotis. That followed that outside fastball that was way off, never intended to be a strike, with a curveball that's mapping on the same path and then curving back into the strike zone, change the hitter's perceptions on speed, and gets the reward with the strikeout.
Bradley Navarro now will swing and miss on his first pitch. The pitch from the toss from the catcher over the head of Skiriotis, but runners will hold. So first and second still, but two outs now. Michigan trying to take advantage of the early base runner opportunities that they have here in this first half of the frame, live from fifth third field. Navarro waits on the 0-1. It's outside, 1-1. Bradley Navarro from Huntington Beach, California. The freshman outfielder for the Wolverines, hitting .200 on the year. Just his 13th start of the season. Here's the 1-1. Low, and it's 2-1-1 now.
Tried to go back to that low outside corner to these lefties that Michigan's brought up there. Did Skiriotis, just missed there, but he's had excellent command of that corner so far.
Here's this 2-1. Strong ground ball foul to the first base side. So now count will be even at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Skiriotis trying to get out of the jam here in this first inning. Here's the 2-2 to Navarro. Low in the dirt. So we'll have a payoff pitch coming now with first and second loaded here in the top half of the first inning. Live from downtown Toledo. Beautiful, beautiful day. We mentioned it. Clear skies, nice and sunny. Here's a payoff pitch, grounded over to second. He'll roam over to his left. That's Mac Hewitt. He'll throw it over to first, and that will retire the side. So the Wolverines get 2 runners on, but strain them both. And we'll go to the bottom half of the first inning with the score remaining tied 0-0 here in Toledo. And thank you once again for tuning in, as we got Chase Allen getting onto the bump to warm up for the Wolverines now. Allen making his 7th start of the season. He's 3-2, ERA high at 8.39. Looking to have a good start for the Wolverines here in this midweek non-conference game. All these games are always important, you know, in getting some much-needed reps and get some work between the Big Ten slate, that the grind of the Big Ten slate that Michigan's been going through. It is an important game, and for Chase Allen to get Michigan going with a good start on his end.
Certainly is. He's struggled a bit this year. 3-2 in the win column, but an earned run average of 8.39 is not going to cut it for the senior. It's his 7th start of the season, thrown about 34 innings, batter average of 324. So clearly has had some struggles early in the season, but we were lucky enough to talk to assistant coach Josh Fegley before the game and mentioned that for Toledo, but also for Michigan in particular, these midweek games are a chance to give some guys some opportunity. Hence, Cooper Mullins, the second baseman, the freshman, making his first start this afternoon. And you talked about opportunity. That might be the key word for Allen here today, because Michigan's going to need another arm. They currently sit 3rd in the Big Ten. Chance to have a good postseason and potentially make some noise in NCAAs despite their under 500 record. And if that's going to happen, it's going to start with Allen starting to piece together some good starts for the Wolverines.
Yeah, definitely. And he will go up against this Rockets lineup. I mentioned at the beginning, they scored 11-plus runs in their past 4 games. They had 5 home runs in a loss against Kent State on Sunday, when they gave up 10 home runs. But leading off for the Rockets is Scott Makiewicz. He had a leadoff home run in Ann Arbor when these Rockets played up there earlier last month. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Here's Allen's 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0, made a little high as well. The senior from Millbury, Ohio. He also had a home run and 2 RBI in their loss Sunday to Kent State. Here's a 1-1. It's high, fly ball, foul out of play to the left side. So we 2-1 now on Makiewicz. Allen winds and deals. Here's the pitch. Swung, pop foul over to the left side again, out of play. So count even at 2-2.
It's a couple of fastballs back-to-back there from Allen that have kind of gotten in on the hands of the Kewigs. So had to just sort of fight him off back behind that third base dugout, but an excellent job of battling back into this at-bat for Allen.
And here's a 2-2 swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. So Chase Allen with a nice start to his afternoon, striking out the first hitter. And now Garrett Pike will come up to the dish for Toledo. He's been having a great year as he walks up to Careless Whisper. It's a nice, nice walk-up music. He went 5 of 8 in their Saturday doubleheader, including a 5-for-5 afternoon and 3 home runs in their first game against Kent State. He's got a hot bat. Here's the first pitch to Pike. Is taken for a ball, got past catcher Rogers. So it'll be 1-0 now on the junior from Waterville, Ohio. Here's the pitch. Swung soft ground ball foul behind towards Michigan's dugout. Garrett Pike, 14 home runs on the year, second in the MAC and 28th nationally. He's got the power, and we mentioned it. He had 3 on Saturday in a 5-for-5 effort. Here's a 1-1 to Pike. So on a line drive, gonna be off one hop on a one hop. I believe I thought it was gonna be caught in the air, but it was on a hop. Picked up by Mullins, the freshman, and he made the nice, easy routine play for out number 2.
Certainly looked like it hit the mid of Mullins first before it hit the ground, but he was a little bobble there, hard hit by Pike, but maybe settle the nerves down a bit for the freshman playing in making his first career start for the Wolverines, playing in a ballpark like this, in a game like this. Nice play.
First pitch to Walton is fouled back in the netting. As the lights come on here at Fifth Third Field, even though the sun is still nice and bright. Luke Walton back 362 on the year. He'll take a strike low, so he'll be behind 0-2. Walton had a good afternoon Sunday where he went 4-5 and homered as well. Here's the 0-2. A little Ephus type pitch that might have slipped out of his hand. Well outside. So now we 1-2 now.
I believe that was an attempt to throw a fastball upstairs and a lack of confidence from Allen. That's concerning there, but we'll see what he responds with.
1-2, he responds nicely, swung on and missed. Got him on strike, so Chase Allen with 2 strikeouts here in that bottom half of the first inning. Toledo goes 1-2-3. So good start for Michigan defensively, getting that strikeout from Walton, or on Walton, from Chase Allen.
Well, whatever that Ephus pitch was on 0-2 certainly set up the strikeout on the next pitch for Allen on Luke Walton, the batter, because he was a little bit behind that fastball that has been touching upper 80s so far in this first inning, and I thought it was an excellent job of Allen. The first 2 pitches obviously got behind in the count, but since then, I believe he only threw 1 ball in his next 10 or so pitches. And again, talking before the game to some of the coaching staff, their key for the pitching staff has been to throw strikes. It's the defense that's made a lot of great defensive plays, second nationally in double plays. We talked about that kind of in our pregame show as well, only to Purdue. So this is a Michigan defense that does a good job, but the pitchers, I think walks have been an issue this season, and then the long ball as well. So keeping it down in the zone, getting the opposing hitters to roll over and letting that defense make plays like they have all season. It's been key, and Allen's done a good job of giving that the opportunity, and the strikeouts will come when they may. He's located that fastball up. I think he will have to be careful of that as he kind of gets through the order again, because as he starts to lose velocity and that fastball is still up, that's how those batters send it for a ride.
Yeah, especially against this Rockets team who hits the long ball. But for now, we'll go to the top of the second inning in this scoreless game, and Cole Caruso to lead off for the Wolverines. Caruso hit the walk-off winner when these 2 teams met in Ann Arbor last month. He also hit a grand slam over the weekend. First pitch to Caruso is high for ball 1. Scottsdale, Arizona native. Went 2 for 4 on Sunday. He's going to shoot a base hit into the right side through the hole between third and short. So Michigan with back-to-back leadoff singles these first 2 innings. And they got a runner on first here in the top half of the second inning.
As a fastball, supposed to be located low and away, kind of up just a hair in the zone and down the middle of the plate, and a nice job of staying on top of it and driving it through the hole in the left side between short and third.
And here comes the freshman Cooper Mullins, who's making his first career start today. He'll take a off-speed pitch in the zone for strike 1.
Skiriotis has done a nice job of locating that curveball on the right half of the plate, starting it kind of in that batter's box and getting it kind of backdoor to these left-handed batters.
Here's the 0-1. Runner goes. It's going to be fouled off into the sweet areas to our left. Possibly hit and run play design there. The count will fall behind 0-2.
Certainly looked like it was on. Not a bad call by Michigan, trying to give your freshman, again, that confidence that he might need. He has played in 13 games this year, but his first start.
Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a nice changeup pitch, actually, there that kind of started on that, just a little too far off that outside corner and kind of dug away from the batter. Never got him to bite, but it's a good miss given the count of 0-2. Still ahead, 1-2 count here. That curveball's been working.
We'll see what Skiriotis goes with the up 1-2. He's going to check over on first. Caruso gets back in there easily.
This is what's interesting because he just changed the speed, right? Brought it down to change about 76. Does he go fastball or does he drop the curve with a different style of movement?
Here's a 1-2. He went off speed there and fought off by Mullins, so count will remain 1-2.
That was that curve that kind of starts on the middle of the plate and drops down to that batter's back foot. Got the backdoor curve on the thing and then the back foot curve, bringing it onto the other side. Nice pitch, fouled off by the freshman.
They're going to throw over to first base again, keeping an eye on Caruso. Only has 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts. They're keeping an eye on him. Keeping an eye on him at first base. Here's the 1-2 to Mullins. Well outside. Count even at 2.
Command's been a bit of an issue here so far for Skiriotis. He's thrown some nice pitches that have caught the zone, but
particularly with that fastball, I'd say.
It's been few and far between.
Here's the 2-2. That's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So back-to-back singles. That one from Mullins. So the Wolverines, for the second consecutive inning, will have first and second on. This time with nobody out.
That was a nice piece of hitting from the freshman Cooper Mullins there. Fouled off that back foot curveball after being set up with the changeup low and away. Laid off the fastball back outside. And then fastball that just caught too much of the plate. Made him pay right back up the middle. The nice 2-strike swing. And
now Will Rogers, he's going to show bunt, and he'll get it down in a beautiful bunt. He might beat the throw on. He will. What a bump by Will Rogers. Just hugged the line. Didn't go too far either. Skiriotis was the one who had to field, and he had no play. So now the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out here in the top of the second.
It's an excellent bunt.
Beautiful bunt.
By Will Rogers. Just dropped it 20 feet down that third base line, right on the grass. Pitcher had no play at third, and with the runner obviously heading to third baseman had to stay back.
First pitch is called for a strike to Darnetti.
It's kind of a lost art these days, the bunt.
You don't see small ball too often.
You certainly don't, but when it's executed well, it can be very beneficial.
0-1 is called for a strike, so Darnetti's behind 0-2 quickly here with the bases loaded.
That was a powerful pitch right there from Skiriotis.
Here's the 0-2. Try to get him to chase outside. He does not go. That ball is in the dirt. Kept in front by the catcher, Braden White. So count will go to 1-2 now.
You can see Skiriotis now working out of the windup. Seems to be a lot more comfortable here. That first pitch curve had some nice movement on it, and then following up with that second pitch fastball, which probably had the most zip I think we've seen on it tonight. The MPH thing is broken out in left field.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Off speed is flied into center field. That's going to be Garrett Pike who will field it. Runner tags. The throw will go into third base, so the Michigan Wolverines will tack on the run on the sacrifice fly, and they'll take a 1-0 lead early here.
Nice piece of hitting from Dernetti there, just fighting off a fastball, kind of up and in on his hands, out towards center field, deep enough for Caruso to score, and still an opportunity here for the Wolverines with 1 out.
Yeah, 1 out, first and second. We're back to the top of the order with A.J. Garcia. He singled on the first pitch of the ball game in his first at-bat last inning.
A couple of nice blocks behind the plate so far from Braden White. That curveball on 0-0 in the dirt is not what they're looking for.
He'll paint the outside corner with a fastball as Skiriotis to count even at 1-1. First and second loaded, 1 out here in the top of the second. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1.
Again, going back to the stretch, because there's an empty bag on third. Skiriotis struggling a little bit with that control. It's been something to keep an eye on. These lefties have stayed off that low and away.
Here's a 2-1. Garcia's gonna show bunt. He's gonna go back to Skiriotis. Gets the job done moving the runners over to second and third, but the out will be made at first. So now we'll have 2 outs with 2 runners in scoring position for the Wolverines, and Mitch Voigt coming up to the plate.
Interesting call, bunting on 2-1 with a hitter that's been hitting about 340 in his last 15 games, but gets the runner over for Mitch Voigt, who, as we mentioned, has been Wolverines' most consistent player this season.
He'll take the first pitch low for ball 1. Now we mentioned it. He had a good pitching outing on Sunday as well. Went 1 for 4, and he's been hitting the ball well recently. He'll take a strike though to even the count at 1. He leads the team in average hits, doubles, RBI, slugging, and innings pitched. And the 1-1 will be fouled off over to the right side. So Mitch Voigt goes behind 2-1, or 1-2, excuse me, with 2 outs, and Toledo trying to limit the damage here. Wearing their nice retro jerseys. Looking at the screen, they got the old Toledo Rockets logo with the UT. A nice little cream white. Nice look here on this special occasion. Here's the 1-2 to Voigt. Swung on, grounded foul over third base side. So we'll do it again. It's 1-2. Our stat broadcast is not working, so apologize if we don't have as many stats as we'd like to as this game moves on. Hopefully they'll get that fixed. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
It's a nice pitch, though. Kind of up and away from Voigt. Caught a little bit too much of the white on the opposite batter's box to the umpire to think about it, but had some nice zip.
The 0-2 swung on and driven deep into left field. That ball is going to be caught at the warning track. He just missed it. Luke Walton, with his back to the wall, makes the play. And that'll be the end of the inning. So the Wolverines are strand 2. They score once and take the lead 1-0 after, as we go to the bottom half of the second inning.
Ball certainly had some pop on it. It's not the pitch you want there with 2 strikes on a batter. Fastball up has been an issue for Skiriotis, and that one got away from him a little bit, and Voigt put a good charge into it, but you wonder about the big ballpark. Probably need about 365, 370 to clear that left field wall on that
365
angle.
there. It's a tall wall, too. It's close. It's not as tall as the brick wall over at Ray Fisher. Maybe a little shorter. I'd say a little shorter,
yeah, definitely
maybe.
A little shorter.
It's still deep. You still got to hit it away, and Voigt nearly got all of it, but
You have to wonder, too, as the temperatures kind of dropped as the sun is falling behind the stadium, and just that tiny breath of wind that's kind of blowing into towards home plate may have knocked that ball down just a hair. It was right at the back of the track where Walton made the play for Toledo. 2-3 more feet, that's off the top, that's off the wall, and Michigan
gets 2 runs. And
Yeah, has expanded their lead to about 3. A little disappointing, I think, if you're the Wolverines to only get 1 there, but an excellent job against Giriotis is battling right now and doesn't have his best stuff, but got to just keep finding a way to grind out outs and let your bats, which have been prolific for Toledo all season. We talked about that a few times. Now, obviously, Allen did a good job shutting them down in that first, but got to believe that some runs will be coming for the Rockets here at some point this afternoon.
And Braden White will lead off, the cleanup hitter for the Rockets. He'll swing on the first pitch and skies it over to right field. Back to the wall, near the warning track, is Rustich, but he'll make the play at the edge of the warning track and get the first out for the Wolverines.
Some quality outfielding there by Rustich that they teach you growing up. Playing ball is first step is a drop step. Whether that ball's to over your left shoulder, drop that left foot, over your right shoulder, drop that right foot, and that one off the right-handed bat towards right field had some serious tail on it. Dropped the right foot first, and then perfect pivot, switch of the hips to kind of go over that left shoulder and make a nice running play.
Oh, and Jackson will foul the first one off into the netting.
You can see here Toledo aggressive early in the count. That's 2 pitches now, 2 swings for the Rockets in this bottom half. Allen's fastball sitting in that upper 80s range, certainly hittable for guys at this level.
The 0-1 is outside. Count even at 1-1. Michigan with a strong shift that you don't see too much in baseball anymore, with it outlawed in the majors, with 3 defensive players to the right of second base. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and miss. Chase Allen. Actually, I believe the scoreboard was wrong. That was 1-1. Scoreboard has the 0-2. Now it's going to be 1-2. There we go. They fixed it. So 1-2 now to Owen Jackson, the Kankakee, Illinois native. He'll take strike 3, called outside. So a second strikeout, or a first strikeout here in this inning for Chase Allen, his 3rd of the game already. There'll be 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second.
And I believe this inning, the first time we've seen that changeup out of Chase Allen, potentially saw that earlier, maybe that eephus pitch that kind of got away from him, but that changeup located beautifully on that bottom corner there to the lefty Jackson.
Yeah, froze him. And here's the next lefty, Trey Wright, who will foul that one back into the netting.
Again, first pitch swinging. Toledo clearly kind of anticipating that fastball on the first pitch. I'd expect Michigan to make an adjustment into the next inning.
Here's the 0-1. That's going to be inside and low, even to count at 1.
Or what they're hoping is the next inning. I mean, the next batter. Obviously, kind of a mind game at this point. But I do believe Allen has started off every batter with the fastball, which at this high of a level, that will get picked up on pretty quickly. 1
run is grounded over into the gap right between second and short. There'll be a 2-out single for Trey Wright. And the Rockets get their first runner on here in this ball game.
Yeah, it was a high hopper kind of back up the middle. I think if Michigan's not shifted over, Mullins was...
Yeah, Mullins was well over towards first base.
Kind of halfway in between first and second base there, and I think that's a pretty routine backhand play. So still a difficult play on that angle if he's kind of in that normal second base spot, but sometimes the shift makes you pay a little bit, and Michigan's got facing their first base runner tonight.
Yeah, so we'll have a 2-out base runner. Now it's Caden Konziak for Toledo. He homered in their loss Sunday. He's batting .299 on the year. Excuse me, .230 on the year. So runner on first, 2 outs. Toledo trying to answer to the Wolverines run in the top half. And it's going to be a line drive towards right field. Charging out, a diving play made by Navarro to make the 3rd out of the inning. Navarro robbing a base hit. So that will end the frame. Rockets get 1 hit, but they do not spring anyone home, and this game stays in favor of the Wolverines 1-0. Nice diving play, charging play by Bradley Navarro over in left field.
Certainly was. Konzak's been a bit of the struggle bus here at the plate as of late. And again, we talked about this midweek game as an opportunity for some players to kind of gain some momentum, gain some confidence without the stress of the conference games, because obviously those are so critical. And even if that would have been a bit of a blooping hit. A hit is a hit, and could have used that for the confidence. But beautiful play by Navarro. Charged in hard, took just that tiny step backwards to gauge where it was going to go, make sure the ball's not going back over his head, and then charging in hard to make a nice diving play. And Michigan kind of flashed into leather, as we talked about with their coach, Josh Fegley, assistant coach Josh Fegley before. This is an excellent defense. They play some pretty clean baseball the back half behind their pitcher. It's just about giving them the opportunities to make the plays, and so far they've done a nice job of that tonight.
Yeah, Michigan top 50 nationally in fielding percentage. And a nice play there by Navarro to get out of the inning. So we head now to the top half of the third inning with your Wolverines leading by a score 1-0. Thanks for tuning into WCBN Sports' presentation of Michigan baseball live from downtown Toledo, Ohio. Fifth Third Field. The home of the Mud Hens is serving as the home for the Rockets today on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Rustich to leave off for Michigan. Here's the first pitch, taken high for ball one. Here's a pitch from Skiriotis. That's going to be outside. So 2 balls, no strikes here on the leadoff hitter, Rustich. Here's the 2-0s. High fly ball over to the right side, but well out of play.
Oh, onto the roof and out of the stadium as well.
Did that hit the roof? I kind of lost track of it.
I believe it did. I was kind of hoping we'd get to see some Sports Center top 10 grabs over there.
Yeah, there are a couple fans out. Couple fans out over there in that corner. A nice little solid crowd showing as a 2-1 is low into the dirt, blocked by White. The count will be 3-1. Yeah, nice crowd on hand here today. Weather's nice outside. We got the window cracked open. It's a little breezy though. Here's a 3-1. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike 2. So Rustich now with a full count pitch coming. Batting .278 on the year. 9 home runs. Here's a payoff pitch. That's going to be low and in the dirt for ball 4. So Michigan gets the leadoff runner on for the 3rd consecutive inning. This time on a base on ball from Steven Rustich. And Colin Priest will come up for Michigan with a runner on first and nobody out.
Rustich 2 for 2 reaching base today. Does not put the bat on the ball yet, but
first pitch to Priest is low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch lined into right field for a base hit. Rustich holds at second base, and the Wolverines have first and second on once again with nobody out here in the top half of the 3rd inning.
It was a fastball again that Skiriotis tried to locate low. It was low, but just catching too much of the fat part of the plate. Colin Priest doing a nice job staying with it as we'll get a mound visit here from Toledo, but excellent piece of hit. And that's a fastball, 86, 87 miles an hour. That's over kind of what we might call the center third of the plate. For these guys who have seen mid-90s before, in all likelihood, 80, 85, 86, 87, at times can feel like batting practice.
Yeah.
And with the inconsistent location of the curveball and the off-speed, you're not going to get that fastball by these Michigan hitters at the moment. It needs to be located precisely, and or that off-speed has to start becoming more of a factor. And at the moment, neither of those have been happening, and Michigan's making Skiriotis pay.
Yeah, but you mentioned it with Skiriotis, a former Buckeye. He's been able to work out of these jams that he puts himself early. We'll see if he can do that here with nobody out and 2 runners on. First and second loaded with Bradley Navarro in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch, Navarro. That's in the dirt once again. Blocked by Braden White. Again, you mentioned it. Braden White's been doing a good job behind the plate, keeping balls in front of him. Does that too on the first pitch. So count will be 1-0 now. One ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch from Skiriotis. Navarro takes the called strike. So I'll even the count at 1. The 1-1. Navarro showing bunt. First baseman charging in. He'll get the bunt down, but it's fouled. So showed bunt with the 2-0 count. Or the 0-2 count. Or the 1-1 count, excuse me. So now it'll be 1-2. So we don't expect to see a bunt here. He's showing bunt, and he'll get it down towards the third base line. Skiriotis will field, fires over to first, and he'll get it to get the first out. Runners advance to second and third, though. Nice piece of hitting there by Navarro with 2 strikes to get that bunt down and advance the runners.
Certainly a questionable call to try and lay down a bunt with 2 strikes. Obviously, if it's foul, it's batter out, as it looks like Toledo's going to the bullpen.
Looks like the bullpen. Might be another one of those bullpen games. They did that the last time these two teams faced off in Ann Arbor. Can't see the number of who's coming on for Toledo. We'll get that for you when we get the chance.
Seems like Skiriotis has been a bullpen guy mostly for them. It's
trying to see the number. Can't see it.
Kyle Pijacek.
You saw the number?
Senior right-hander, number 48.
48. He got good. We're sitting right next to the guy controlling the music, and he's doing a good job, I'd have to say.
Certainly is. Michigan, speaking of doing a good job, Michigan offense has done an excellent job of getting runners into scoring position. As Pachizek gets his warm-up tosses in.
Yeah, the Grand Blanc, Michigan native. You mentioned it. Yeah, Michigan's been offensively doing a good job in attacking early, getting runners on. They just got to get more runners home. They had the bases loaded last inning. They only mustered 1 in on a sac fly. And in the first inning, they had first and second load, and they couldn't get anyone home. But now with second and third loaded and just 1 out, a prime opportunity to add this early 1-0 lead.
Short night for Skiriotis. Obviously, talked a little bit about his command issues. Unable to locate that fastball, kind of low and away. Some command issues letting it kind of leak up into the zone or into the middle half of the plate. From what we've seen from Pachizek so far, fastball looks sharper. Slider's got some nice sort of whip on it, some movement on there. But he was a little bit erratic around the zone. But I believe with a little bit more speed on velocity on that fastball, a little bit more sharpness on that off-speed pitch, I think it'll be a nice change of pace for Toledo, and Michigan's hitters might struggle just a bit to adjust to it.
Going up against Cole Caruso here, infield in for a moment. They backed out. First pitch is low and in the dirt for ball 1.
A nice block by White. It's probably 5 or 6 times now that he's kind of slid down to that right to his right to take away that curveball.
Especially now with the runner at third. Runners on second and third with 1 out. The 1-0 is called. Strike on the outside part of the plate.
Painting the corner was in the dictionary. That fastball would go right there.
That's a perfect pitch to even the count at 1. Here's the 1-1. That ball's outside. Bounced into the plate. Once again, White kept it in front of him. The count will go 2-1 now. Kyle Pijacek believe that's how you say his name. He's got a 5.66 ERA, 3-2 on the year. This is his 16th appearance. Hit that pitch will be fouled off out of play. So count even at 2 now to Caruso. I mentioned that Cole Caruso had the grand slam on Sunday, and he walked off the Wolverines' win over these Rockets last month. The 2-2 is in the dirt once again and blocked again by White. He's been busy early in the backstop for the Rockets.
It's the part of the lineup for Michigan that kind of ripped off those 3 singles in the second.
Full count now, runners on second and third. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be ground foul off the wall of the Toledo Rockets dugout. Third base side.
Part of it's been the Toledo pitching, but I think Michigan's had some excellent at-bats today. A lot of really good two-strike approaches, which means shortening up the swing, shortening up the step. Anything kind of within a ball of those corners, fighting it off and living to see another pitch.
The payoff pitch is going to be grounded right back to P-Jack, who's going to get caught in a rundown at third, and they're going to get him at third base. So some poor base running from Michigan. Toledo is going to capitalize. Nice snag by P-Jack, catching the runner at third, who started heading home. That was Rustich at third, who was caught in the rundown. So instead, now there's 2 outs, runners on first and second. And Toledo has a chance to escape another inning unscathed here. First pitch is down and inside for a ball. It's the freshman Mullins.
Some poor base running by Rustich, one of the veteran players on this Michigan team. At third base, anything on the ground must go past the pitcher before you begin to advance home. Did not fall Rule 1A and pays the price.
Mullins takes that pitch inside, maybe also a little low. 2-0 now.
That ground ball could have gone anywhere else. You have to look at the third baseman, first baseman. If they're playing close corners in, you stay back potentially. But if it's the pitcher, it's an auto no-go.
2-0 is outside, ball 3.
And Rustich decided to go.
Yeah, he broke. He was in no man's land, and props to P-Jack for noticing that and heading and getting the out on the tag. But here's the 3-0 pitch. That's going to be outside for a 4-pitch walk to Mullins to load the bases now with 2 outs.
Had a base open, I suppose. Force out anywhere and get to face Will Rogers, who
bang 204 on the year is Will Rogers.
Has not been amazing in the batter's box, to say the least, but good start for Mullins, the freshman, and his first one ever. Base hit, made a play in the field, and then just drew a walk here. Michigan's got the bases loaded again.
The Shoreview, Minnesota native. With the bases loaded, he'll take first pitch, calls, strike.
Michigan dugout thought that was a little low.
I thought it was a little low too.
It's a little low from up here. Certainly caught a piece of the plate. I'm kind of right on that edge.
We got a beautiful vantage point right behind home plate as a 0-1 is taken for strike 2 as well.
That was nice. I think that's the first time we've seen that slider slash off speed slash curve kind of find any part of the plate a little bit more up in the zone, and well executed there.
Yeah, so P-Jack gets ahead 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be low. 1-2, trying to get that swing, strike 3. Will Rogers does a good job holding up there.
It was a well-executed pitch. Again, a little bit curveball with a little bit more 12-6 movement than that 9-3 slider. Tried to get a swing and missed, didn't bite, but good pitch.
1-2 is one hopped into the chest plate of Braden White, who once again keeps the ball in front of him, and this one in an important position with the bases loaded. So the count will be even 2-2 now with 2 outs here in the top of the third. The Wolverines up 1-0 and a chance to add to it with the bases loaded. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fought off, fouled away behind home plate. staying alive is Rogers. Darren Eddy on deck circle waiting if Rogers can reach here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eject fires. Off speed is grounded. Base hit. Right field. 1 run's going to score. Rounding third. Heading home is Caruso, and he's going to slide in safely. Wolverines score 2 on the 2 RBI single. And they extend the lead. It's now 3-0.
It was an excellent piece of hitting there from Will Rogers. Fought off kind of a slider that was a little bit up in the zone. The previous pitch was a little bit out of the zone as well. Fought it off, and then that next pitch caught a little bit too much of the play. Did a nice job of taking the pitch with where it's going. Outside part of the plate, right-handed batter. All you're trying to do is flip something out there to right field and roped a liner out there as we've got another.
Looks like the trainer maybe out there checking in.
Checking in on Pajizek.
Pajizek. I apologize if I'm saying the name wrong. We did not get a pronunciation sheet, and he got the.
Anytime you see a J, S, and a Z in the same last name,
yeah, so
get a little tricky.
A little tricky. We'll see. It looks like he's gonna throw a couple warm-up pitches. I did not notice what ailed him on that one. Kyle Music is in the bullpen though, warming up. The bullpen's over down the lines on each end. You don't see that too often anymore, especially in the big leagues with the bullpens in the foul territory. But here at Fifth Third Field, they are just that. And with Kyle Music warming up, we'll see if he gets called on or Pijek will be able to keep on going. Still talking with the trainer. And it looks like they are going to bring in the new pitcher. So Pijek will go, I believe, just a 3rd inning officially. Giving up the 2-run single. He's going to come out here with some sort of injury. And now Kyle Music will enter the game for the Rockets. Now trailing 3-0 after the 2 RBI single from Will Rogers. Yeah, we've been mentioning a lot today. It's a beautiful day, beautiful ballpark. We took a nice lap around it pre-game and taking it in, and
we did. What a cool experience for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a cool experience
for us,
right?
yeah. And we're just sitting here talking about the game.
Broadcasters, and we're just watching some baseball on a beautiful afternoon inside of a booth. The monitor, and
we got that. There's a pre-game show behind us.
Cool
that
pieces
happened.
of equipment.
Yep.
Around us here, some headsets on, just talking ball, talking shop, talking what we see. But these guys to play on a field that is this well maintained, this spacious, with the speakers and kind of the vibe, the setting in the background. A board like that out there in left field.
It's had a little bit of technical issues.
Certainly is. Obviously maybe not the crowd they might have hoped for, but
it's not a bad crowd.
It's certainly not a bad crowd at all.
The Mud Hens mascots are here too. Muddy and Madonna.
Yes, Madonna was out there in right field.
And I saw the Rockets mascots too. They were
chill.
sitting over there in the crowd. The 2 Toledo Rockets mascots as well. Don't remember their names from when we were at Savage Arena in Toledo on the University of Toledo's campus for the women's basketball game that you and I were on the call for in December.
Down to Toledo for us this season.
Beautiful Toledo, Ohio, up right on the Toledo Strip, the cause of the animosity between the states of Michigan and Ohio. Michigan gets the Upper Peninsula. Ohio gets the Toledo Strip. And all that comes with this beautiful city. Who do you think won that trade? You don't even make a pick if you don't want to.
I mean, probably the Michigan with the UP.
The UP is really nice, but
would Ohio have gotten the UP though?
I don't think so. I don't know who would have gotten the UP if we got Toledo. I'm no historian, so I couldn't tell you.
Why can't we have both?
I think that would have been the best if we had both, but either way, Dernetti will come up with runners on the corners and 2 outs. He'll show bunt, but take that pitch outside, 1-0. Kyle Music, the Cincinnati, Ohio native. Transferred from Pensacola Junior College in Florida. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch. Real good pitch. You said it with that. Oof, that's a good pitch there. Now he's evens the count at 1.
It certainly was. You could see Dernetti way out in front of that off-speed pitch from Music.
The 1-1 from Music is inside. 2-1.
What a sweet last name.
Kyle Music. It is a cool name.
Wonder if he'll get a fastball up and in potentially, and we get a little chin music.
A little sweet chin music. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch from Music. Good pitch inside. Called strike 2. Count even at 2 now. This is Music's 16th appearance of the season. He's got a 5.84 ERA. He's pitched 12 1/3 innings, give up 8 runs on the year.
I'd be shocked if the runner goes here.
Runner holds and pitches low and outside to make the count full 3-2.
Well, 3-2, 2 outs. Runner will certainly be going here for Michigan as we see Toledo first baseman.
Yep, Rogers will probably go from first to second.
First baseman backs off for Toledo.
Rogers goes, pitches outside for ball 4. So 2-out walk will load the bases once again with Wolverines. Here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. Michigan trying to extend their 3-0 lead here.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate no-no of pitching right there. Go up 0-2 and then 4 straight balls to get the batter off the hook and back into the at-bat. Not sure the bat left his shoulder there after Nettie and reached first base.
Back to Garcia, the leadoff hitter, with the bases juiced. Takes a strike inside. No balls and 1 strike.
This is the 3rd separate time the Wolverines have had the bases loaded. Only 3 runs to show for it.
Definitely want to capitalize here. Swung and grounded softly, just foul towards first.
I believe that hit the foot of Garcia.
I couldn't tell if it did or not, but it was a soft roller foul. And either way, though, Garcia's behind now on the count 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Michigan trying to add to the runs they've put up here in this frame. That pitch is inside. Runner charged home was Mullins from 3rd. But White doing a good job keeping the ball in front of him, then firing it back to hold Mullins at 3rd. So bases will remain loaded. That was the first ball. So count will go to 1-2.
It was an aggressive sort of secondary lead there from Mullins off of 3rd base. Something that probably pretty well coached at Michigan. Had to dive back in there.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. So Music gets out of the jam, gives up no runs. So Wolverines leave him loaded, but they add 2 to their lead, and they take a 3-0 lead to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Here in downtown Toledo, Ohio, 5th Third Field. You are listening live to WCBN Sports' presentation of Michigan baseball with the Wolverines up 3-0. Will Rogers 2-run single. Difference in that frame. Wolverines with 3 runs on 6 hits. No errors. They have a handful of runners left on base. Don't have the exact number with our stat broadcast failing us here so far. Looks like the new Toledo women's basketball coach, Ginny Bogus,
Wow.
is out here being celebrated.
We just talked about how we were down there for
Yeah, we just mentioned
the women's game women's basketball between Toledo and Michigan. Great atmosphere.
it's an awesome atmosphere, sold out crowd, and Toledo
listening.
brought it to us,
Yeah,
to the Wolverines, I should say.
certainly did. I was not expecting their coach at the time, who talked to the fans actually after the game for a little bit on the mic. Did not have any anticipation that she was leaving, but
I'll be honest, I do not know this. I did not hear if she retired. I think she was there a long time though. I believe Toledo had a good year in baseball or in basketball.
I believe so too.
Let's see if I can look it up real fast before we get going here.
In terms of the baseball, as we look that up here quickly, but Chase Allen been sitting on that bench for a little while. 2 pitching changes, some runs scored, some hitting. Sun's kind of falling behind some clouds, starting to get cool out a little bit. Be tough to maintain that rhythm, that momentum. Kind of keep that arm loose as well. I'm curious to see how that works for him here as
Especially when the lineup turns over as well, too. J.P. Wagner, the number 8 hitter, will get his first plate appearance of the afternoon. He'll take the first pitch in for a strike from Chase Allen.
Allen's done a good job of staying ahead of hitters since that first batter. 8th batter faced, I believe, 7 of them he's gotten ahead.
That pitch will be low for ball 1. Count even at 1 to J.P. Wagner, the freshman from Toledo, Ohio. Sticking close to home, going to his hometown university as he takes the off-speed pitch low for ball 2. Wagner batting .273 on the year. He'll shoot it up the middle, but it's going to be fielded by the shortstop, Dernetti, who will fire over to first to get the first out of the inning.
The shift giveth, the shift taketh right there. This time it giveth for Michigan, and it's kind of a pretty hard hit 2-3 hopper right back up the middle, but Dernetti in a good spot. Nice technique on fielding the ground ball, kind of glove out in front, head down. Kind of funnel it into the chest. 1 crow hop, nice toss over there, good play.
So first out of the inning, now we'll bring up Charlie Schloven for his first at-bat. And he'll take the first pitch in for a strike. The 0-1 is one hopped, caught by Rogers behind the plate. That count will be even at 1-1. Swung on and missed on the 1-1. A good pitch there by Allen. Gets ahead on count 2-1 or 1-2.
So nice off speed there, kind of started on that outer third part of the plate and dropped away from the batter.
Same pitch, tried to get him to swing again, doesn't there.
And that's the difference right there. That pitch started sort of a ball closer to the other batter's box, and it's the difference between getting a swing and a miss and a ball.
The 2-2, check swing, good pitch, but Schloven does a good job laying off on that one to bring the count to a full 3-2.
That's 3 straight curves. I'd be surprised to see anything but this fastball here.
Here's the full count pitch. Fastball fouled away. So Schloven will live to see another pitch.
And after 3 curves kind of out and away, trying to get the chase, they go fastball a little bit up and in. And as you mentioned, Schloven, excellent job of kind of fighting that off, because after seeing the different speed and different kind of pitch and pitch path, the last 3 pitches, to fight off a fastball up and in is impressive.
Full count pitch is grounded down the line. It's fair down the left, right by the third base line. That's going to get into the corner for extra bases. Schloven will round second, but he will hold at second with a 1-out double. See, he roped that right down the chalk over on the third base side all the way into the corner. First extra base hit for the Rockets, and they got a runner on scoring position with 1 out here, trying to answer as the lineup turns over to Scott Makiewicz.
Nice piece of hitting there from Schloven that kind of went back to that slider that just thrown in there for a strike, and a little bit early on it, but hard hit ground ball right over that third base bag into the left field corner. First chance here really for Toledo of the afternoon.
Makiewicz will take the first pitch outside for a ball. Yeah, you mentioned it, first opportunity with runners on scoring position for the Rockets. We've mentioned their offensive prowess recently. They've scored 11 runs or more in 4 consecutive games. As first, 1-0 is fouled off down the left field line into the crowd. Some couple kids are chasing after it in the concourse. We'll see how long it takes for them to get over to that ball. Count even at 1-1 now. Here's a pitch. That one's fouled off out onto the street. I believe it'll reach the street. The count will be 1-2 now.
Fun ballpark here at Fifth Third Field. Kind of surrounded by a town, a local town. Not really a parking lot.
You can see cars driving by over in left center field as the 1-2 is swung on and missed. Good pitch from Chase Allen. Got him down on strikes.
Beautiful. Couple fastballs that he's a little late on, fouled him off, and then that sort of backdoor breaking ball that maybe a little bit off the plate. Not sure that's called strike 3, but in the protection mode with 2 strikes. And
here's Garrett Pike now with 2 outs and a chance to take off the goose egg for the Rockets. That first pitch is bounced in the dirt for ball 1. Pike's the hitter that Toledo won. He leads the team in runs, hits, home runs, RBI. He had a double and a home run when these two teams faced off in Ann Arbor in mid-March. He's top 50 nationally in total bases with 97 total bases. He'll swing and miss on the off-speed pitch to even the count at 1, though.
He's got a nice compact swing, does Garrett Pike. It's a simple load, but it really is coiling into that back left hip and then like a spring exploding as that pitch comes in.
The pitch comes in this time. It's when he fouled off on the first base side.
It's back-to-back great off-speed pitches by Chase Allen. He's been really impressive so far through 3 innings. We had a little curveball that Pike gave a nod of appreciation to, and then followed up with that changeup, which visibly slower than his fastball, about 15 miles an hour slower, sitting in kind of in that low 70s, but plenty of movement on it.
Here's the 1-2. Low. They even count at 2.
It was interesting there from Allen. He gave a little motion with his glove before he came in. The typical pitcher signal for a curveball. Not sure he's trying to tip his pitch and then threw a curveball.
2-2. He's going to check it back. He's going to check the runner back over at second base. McEwitt and kind of awkwardly didn't really, kind of just like lofted over to second.
Any of the pitchers out there listening know what I'm talking about, where you start with the pocket of the glove facing you and just kind of flip it down. Typically means curve, and he did that and threw a curve.
2-2 inside, so the count will be full once again. The Rockets have done a good job getting these counts full. We've seen that a couple times here today. And now a payoff pitch with 2 outs with the Rockets trying to crack open the scoring. The 3-2 is low for ball 4. So Garrett Pike works to walk. His 98th base of the season. So now first and second will be loaded with Luke Walton coming up for the Rockets and a chance with the runner in scoring position to get right back into this ball game.
Tough batter to lose the battle to there for Chase Allen. Michigan obviously some momentum on the offensive side of the ball and would love to get those bats back up to the plate while they're still hot. Now giving Toledo an opportunity to put something on the board.
First pitch to the Sandusky, Ohio native is taken for strike 1. Luke Walton, he was 11 for 18 in the 4 games the Rockets played last weekend. He's a team leader in batting average at .362. Trying to get a base knock here to put the Rockets on the board. Here's the 0-1 from Allen. Inside 2-0. Or 1-1, excuse me. Big at bat here early in this ball game for the Rockets. Here's the 1-1. High fly ball. Short. This is going to be staying in the infield. Be played by the third baseman, Caruso. He'll make the play over near shortstop. He ranged over to his left to make the easy pop-up catch to retire the side. So the Rockets get 2 runners on with a double and a walk, but they do not score. 2 runners stranded, and Michigan retains a 3-0 lead here through 3 here at Fifth Third Field.
Nice pitch to get out of that jam there by Chase Allen. Fastball up and in, and as I've touched on a little bit today, anything that's kind of coming in with a little bit of velocity up and in, gets in on the hands of the hitter. They're going to get jammed, kind of leave that lag of that bat a little bit behind in terms of getting to that baseball, and that's how you kind of get those opposite field sort of weak pop-ups. And big one there for the Wolverines to maintain this 3-0 lead, but also maintain some of the momentum in this game. Because obviously Michigan's taking their time to get their runs. They've had plenty of chances with the bases loaded, but
Yep.
you know, maybe all Toledo needs is see a few base runners on, kind of like seeing a free throw go through for Steph Curry or something, so to speak. Not necessarily to probably the Toledo offense to
The Warriors. They have a big playing game tonight, I believe. The Golden State Warriors do.
At Sacramento. It's a dangerous spot to be in for them. Obviously, you have to win 2 to get in.
Red Wings also have a big game tonight for all my Wings fans listening in. That game's just about to start, I believe, actually. Live from Montreal. Wings need a win and a Capitals loss to clinch a playoff berth tonight. I'm trying to see what event is going on down below near in front of the Toledo Rockets dugout. We got a couple kids that were blindfolded, and I believe they were trying to dance or something. I kind of missed it.
Yeah, they had a dance battle.
Battle. I didn't see who won. Do you think the winner was rightfully so? The winner?
I don't know. I don't think any of those kids will be on Dancing with the Stars in 15, 20 years, but
No top-end dancing talent here at Fifth Third Field tonight.
well, I'm here.
Well, that's true. We'll turn on the broadcast cam later, and you can show off some dance moves if you really want to.
Yeah.
First pitch to Mitch Voigt is fouled back towards us into the netting.
Slow days so far for Voigt, 0 for 2 in a game where Michigan's got 6 hits, couple walks, and best player hasn't contributed to that yet.
Here's the 0-1 from Music. Off speed is inside. The count even at 1-1.
A big gap over there by second. Shift onto the left side of the infield. See if Voigt can poke one the other way.
He'll ground it foul over towards third, but you mentioned it. Scott McHewitz, the second baseman, is just to the left side of the second base bag. So the Rockets have 3 infielders on the left side of the diamond against the righty Voigt, who's down 1-2 in the count. Here is the pitch. High and inside to even the count at 2.
Seen a pitcher trying to both teams try and locate that fastball up and in. And it's okay if it's up and off the plate. It's a tough pitch to hit, but certainly like that strikeout pitch at some point.
2-2 is lined foul down the third baseline. So stays at 2-2 to Mitch Voigt.
So the purpose of the high fastball is to have the hitter see something at their eyes that they think they can hit because they're a little antsy here with 2 strikes, and also change their kind of level.
The 2-2 swung on and missed. Music gets him on strikes for the first out here in the 4th inning.
And then you do that, where you follow it with a curveball down and away, where they know that it's starting in the zone, but it feels so off because their eye line is looking up relative to that strike zone, and they just swing right over the top of it.
And
pitch.
And then Rustich will take the first pitch of this at-bat for a strike. The camera really shaking on our monitor here. Not sure why. Here's the 0-1. Inside for ball 1.
What kind of music you think Music listens to?
No, I would assume a wide array of genres. He's got the last name Music as he bounces one for ball 2, but I didn't hear, do pitchers have walk-up music? They sometimes do. I didn't hear if he had something play when he entered the ball game, but
No, I didn't hear that either. Maybe if he takes the mound for the next inning, they'll play some tunes and we'll see what he's looking like.
as the 2-1 is bounced again into the dirt. 3-1. We could ask the guy next to us, the sound guy. If you really want to, I could open this window and, hey, what's Kyle Music's favorite song?
Yeah, I think you're right. You've got the last name Music, you gotta like all
I think
sorts of
he
music.
definitely knows his way around different genres and is well versed. Probably new school, old school, whatever. As he Good off-speed pitch from Music to make the count full, 3-2.
See on our monitor here that Rustich is really choked up on that bat. Probably a good 2-3 inches even before the two-strike pitch comes in.
The payoff pitch is swung on and driven deep, but foul onto the street. Hopefully no cars get hit. I don't know if a car could get hit. Probably. I mean, it's good we didn't park out there.
Yeah.
When we were coming in here, we parked in the garage across from us in the Glass City Center.
That would take an Aaron Judge type bomb to hit our car.
Yeah. 1 out, payoff pitch for Music. Inside, ball 4. Rustich works a 1 out walk and really good at bat to get on base.
Hit by pitch and 2 walks today for Rustich.
And on
improve
base
the OBP, keep the average right where it's at. Productive.
Yeah, he's already got a 429 on base percentage. So that's only climbing with his 3-for-3 outing in that regard. Brings up Priest with 1 out and runner on first base. He'll take a ball 1 outside. Count 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Good pitch there to even it at 1. To Colin Priest, 1 for 2 on the day. Here's Music's 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed again. Back-to-back off-speed pitches got Priest swinging through him. And now he's behind 1-2. Rustich on first. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul just to the right of the first base bag. Count will stay 1-2. The Let's Go Blue chant playing by the organist. I doubt that's what's intentionally played. You hear this at many ballparks and stadiums, but with Michigan here on the road, that get the road fans going. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. Even the count.
Not sure you've ever heard it, but Purdue does the same thing, where they say, "Let's go Purdue."
I've heard it. Unfortunately, it was at Chrysler when the Purdue fans really took over Ann Arbor in basketball seasons. The 2-2 is fouled off to Priest will live to fight another day.
I guess my point is you're right to suggest that it is a very popular chant.
Indeed it is. And
rightfully so. It's a quality.
it's a nice chant. It's good that Michigan's adopted it as one of their own. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Got him on strikes. And that'll be 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Music gets the strikeout. 4 out number 2.
Like a changeup, kind of down and away. Priest just a little underneath it, and beg your pardon, that was a fastball. A little late, a little behind it.
Here's Bradley Navarro. He'll take the first pitch called, strike 1.
And that's that backdoor off speed that kind of moves from the pitcher's right to left, and with the lefty comes in from their left to right, catches that back corner of the plate. Looks like a ball the whole way until umpires signal and strike.
The 0-1 is well outside. Even the count at 1.
That's a good sequence, though. Fastball kind of away, following that backdoor slider, where you've got the hitter thinking, man, like, did not look like a strike. Kind of curve back in there. Oh, same spot, same pitch. Nope, fastball, you're late. No chance of hitting it.
He'll go inside with that one, which gets away from White, and runners can get over to second base on the passed ball. So Braden White, who we've mentioned, had a really good day behind the dish today. He let that one get ricochet well away from him. So Rush just advanced to second with 2 outs. And Michigan with a chance to add to their already 3-0 lead. Here's the 2-1. Low, 3-1. The Music behind, 3-1 on the count. 2 outs, runner on second. Here's the 3-1. Catches the outside corner. Navarro was getting ready to toss his bat over and get the walk. May trying to sell it a little bit. Either way, count gets full with 2 outs. Kyle Music with the payoff pitch. Swung ground ball foul into the, or snagged by Caruso in the on deck circle. He'll simply toss it into the dugout. He'll do it again. 3-2 now. The runner on second and 2 outs. To Bradley Navarro, the Huntington Beach, California native. Here's the pitch for Music. Grounded foul again. We'll do it again.
Got another example of these Michigan batters really battling in the box today.
Mhm.
We've seen it numerous times. Navarro's had some good at-bats. Mitch Voigt, despite his strikeouts, I think, his inability to get on base so far, has also battled, made the pitchers work here for Toledo.
Here's the 3-2. Well outside, ball 4. Runner's going to head to third as the ball got away from White. He does. Rutschis gets over to third. So now first and third will be loaded with 2 outs. That pitch was high and well outside and just in and out of the glove of White, and it ricocheted away, and aggressive base running by Rustich to get over from second to third on that base on ball. So now the corner will be loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, Rustich got an excellent jump there. It's why coaches preach taking a secondary lead after the pitcher releases the ball. It should be maybe just a little short of halfway to the next bag, and once that ball popped out, Rustich was on his way over to third.
Cole Caruso now with first and third. He's going to line it towards left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Run's going to score. So Michigan adds their lead. It's now 4-0 on the Cole Caruso RBI single.
Nice piece of hit. Maybe caught that a little bit off the end of the bat, but kind of a soft liner into left field, drops in, and Rustich crosses the plate for the Wolverines, and a nice kind of 2-out run there for Michigan. Certainly feels like they've left a few on the board today and stole one here.
Now Mullins before Mullins will get out. Looks like that the Rockets will be heading to the bullpen now. Once again, we'll see who is coming in for Toledo. No more Music on the mound here. We'll have a new pitcher for the Rockets. Looks like it'll be Jacob Tabor, the freshman lefty in for Toledo.
Well, I'll tell you, if Toledo had a sponsor for every mound visit, that sponsor would be Love and Life right now. This is the epitome of a midweek bullpen game, and obviously talked to Michigan assistant Coach Fegley before the game, and he was mentioning that some folks would be getting some opportunities today. Toledo's pitching staff certainly getting that opportunity. The freshman here.
Yeah, just making his 15th appearance on the year. He's got a 3.68 ERA. He's got 5 saves, so he's come in late in games this season. But this time he's trying to salvage the inning and not give up too much more in terms of damage to keep his Rockets in it, as they only trail by 4, and they have the offense to get right back in this game. But you don't want to let it get away from you, and this becomes an important out to get with Mullins due up and runners on first and second.
Especially when you just gained some momentum in the last inning by getting a couple runners on, making Michigan pitcher Chase Allen feel just the slightest bit of pressure. So to come back and give up 2 more runs would be pretty detrimental to kind of the morale in that dugout. But played 9 innings for a reason, got 27 outs to play with, and I like what I see out of Tabor right now. It's kind of a lanky lefty, 3/4 arm slot, popping around 90 on that fastball. And with Michigan, kind of some of their best hitters in that left-handed batter's box, might give them a funny look here.
Yeah, the lefty-on-lefty matchup here with Mullins in the left-handed batter's box and Tabor pitching the southpaw. The first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1, blocked by White. holding Navarro at second base.
Good day so far for the freshman Mullins. Thought, might be a little nervous. Get the opportunity to play out here. Toledo's a quality baseball team, and
He only had eight at-bats coming into this game in 13 appearances. That ball gets through White to the 5-hole. So runners will advance to second and third. White, we had been a little off here in this inning. That's, I believe, the third pass ball in this frame. And that one's costly as it allows both runners to advance into scoring position. Just through the 5-hole. You see like a hockey goal kind of thing, but just got through. And it's 2-0 now. 2-0 to Mullins. That's going to catch the outside corner. 2-1 now.
Off speed has some nice sweeping action from that left-hand side. Really started at that front knee of Mullins and broke across to the outside corner. Nice pitch.
The 2-1. Similar pitch is going to catch the corner again. And Tabor doing a nice job. Started down 2-0, and he's even the count at 2 and has a chance to get out of this jam. Here's Tabor's 2-2. Swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. Jacob Tabor gets out of the inning. Michigan will settle for 1 run. And they lead by 4 halfway through this ball game.
There's a nice sequence of pitches there. He talked about a couple of the kind of off-speed pitches that Tabor threw after going down in the hole 2-0 to the batter Mullins there. Curveball, both starting at that front knee and then over to the opposite corner of the plate and then coming back with 90 up in the zone. It's going to be tough to hit. And freshman seemed a little overwhelmed with the pace of that pitch.
I see what they're trying to do on the scoreboard here. They got some. Oh, they're doing some quotes from baseball movies or something. Ooh, I like that jersey. That powder blue Toledo jersey.
A couple nice jerseys here for the Rockets.
Yeah, they have a nice collection of uniforms. We mentioned they're wearing their retros today. They have the T and U. It's a nice logo. Ooh, they got lights here too that change colors. That's nice. Still bright outside here, but you see the yellow lights over showing in the outfield. I like that powder blue a lot. That they're showing by a couple of the players. That players are saying some baseball movie quotes. I haven't watched too many baseball movies. Probably not. Looks like we have a couple defensive changes. They missed them announced, which might be.
Looks like Rustich is out of the game.
I believe Joe Longo's in.
Joe Longo is in at first.
Longo in at
Mitch
first.
Voigt pops out to right.
I would have changed that myself. Right. The first pitch was low in the dirt for ball 1 from Allen. That pitch is going to be popped foul. So Joe Longo in for Rustich. Because we mentioned the stat broadcast is not working for us, so. Broadcasting this old school, aren't we?
Certainly are.
That pitch is inside for 2 balls and 1 strike. Braden White is at the plate for Toledo. He'll take that ball low. 3-1 now.
First time Allen's been behind a batter in quite a while here. To see how he responds, get back in this count. Had a walk the last inning as well.
3-1 is grounded foul over the third base coach. It'll ricochet all the way into left field. So Navarro will chase after it to help out the ball boy.
I have to wonder, it's been a couple long innings for the Michigan bats, despite maybe not necessarily the run production.
Mm-hmm.
To wonder how that arm of Allen is feeling looseness-wise.
The 3-2 is fouled into the suites ricochets off the glass and goes into the second deck here. And we got 3 kids chasing after him right in front of us. Looks like the Michigan fan, I believe that's a Michigan fan that's going to win that race. We'll see. The 3-2 is lined into center field. It will get down for base hit. So Braden White opens the bottom half of the fourth inning with a leadoff single. Runner on first now with nobody out here. Kind of lofted it into the center field. Garcia playing kind of deep, and that's a tough ball to get as a center fielder charging forward, and couldn't get there in time. So leadoff runner is on for the Rockets.
It's a fastball. I mentioned it a few times tonight. In and on the hands, kind of jammed him, but flared it out to center.
First pitch to Owen Jackson is outside for ball one. Or excuse me, called strike. 0-1.
Allen's established that changeup well this afternoon.
Here's the 0-1 to Jackson. That one's low. Count even at 1. One ball, one strike. Here's a pitch from Allen. Grounded towards third. Diving play, but got to the shortstop, who will fire over to first in time. Nice play from Dernetti, as he had Caruso diving in front of him trying to make the play, but it got through to Dernetti, who was backing him up. Nice throw over to first. Gets the out at first. Runner does advance to second, but they do get the first out here in the frame.
I think Michigan was only getting one out there, even though that's the ground ball to short with the runner on first. Mullins in the shifts to be losing that race over to second base, and even if they were able to get there in time, certainly not able to turn two.
Yeah, good just getting the out that you can get. But now a runner in scoring position for Trey Wright. That first pitch was inside for ball one to Trey Wright, the Jackson, Ohio native. That pitch is off speed and inside again. So Wright gets ahead on the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on second, 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The 2-0 pitch, check swing, but called strike 1. Two and 1 now to Wright. Swinging ground ball, base hit up the middle. Runner being sent to third. Here, going to send him home. Throw is cut off, and Toledo gets on the board. RBI single for Trey Wright. The Ric Flair woo playing over the sound speakers as the Rockets are on the board.
Looked like Garcia maybe had a chance for a play at the plate, but that ball just came out way too low on his attempt to throw home, and thankfully right at the cutoff man Longo, but
they kind of rolled it in from the outfield. Not a good throw. Maybe indecisive on if you want to go home or trying to hold the runner potentially from getting an extra base on that single. Either way, though, Wright gets on the single, RBI single, to put the Rockets on the board 4-1.
Talked about that first pitch is down and away to Konzak. Talked about Toledo getting back into this game. Deficit cut to 3. Been able to get a couple base runners on in each of this past 2 at-bats. And
grounded over to second. This could be a routine 4-6-3 double play, and it is. The second most double plays turned in the country. The Wolverines turn one there. They get out of the inning, just give up the 1 run. Second to short over to first base. Get the 2 outs to end the inning, but the Rockets score once on a couple hits. No one left on base. And it's 4-1 now in favor of the Wolverines. Toledo gets one back.
of course, as I talk about Toledo gaining some momentum, the commentator curse comes out to play. Routine 4-6-3. Nice job by Mullen staying down on that one hop. Ball was hit pretty hard there by Konzak, but right at the second baseman. Makes a nice play. Easy toss over to Dernetti. Rips one over to first, and Michigan gets out of the jam.
A little mascot race going on down the third baseline.
It's Rocky the Rocket.
Rocky the Rocket.
And a couple of, like a shark and like a dinosaur?
Is that a dragon?
Very well might be. This is,
The Rocket won by a landslide.
well, as he should. He's a rocket and he's facing some sea animals. Or
That's true.
something
Well,
else.
I think that's a dragon.
It's also a home game for
That's
Rocket the
true.
Rocket.
That's like Left Shark from the Katy Perry halftime show. That's what that shark reminds me of. Just gotta get him into dance, do a little flipper, whatever that Left Shark was.
Do you think Rocky the Rocket's ever lost in his career?
I would hope not. He's probably like the Freeze in Atlanta. You know, the guy that runs, they do the foul line to foul line. He's
Freeze
like,
has lost, though.
he has lost. I don't think Rocky the Rocket's lost.
To be fair, the Freeze probably starts a good 60 yards behind his competitor.
It's impressive. I'll give.
It's very impressive.
And sometimes he blows them out of the water, but then you'll get the occasional person that flops on their face as they're running.
Yeah.
But no, Rocky the Rocket made light work of that race down the third base line. Back to the baseball, though. We'll head to the top of the fifth. Score 4-1 in favor of Michigan, excuse me. Jacob Tabor back on the hill for the Rockets. Will Rogers will ground the first pitch over to the shortstop, Slovin, who will fire over to first base. 1 pitch, 1 out. Goes Will Rogers.
Start to feel the momentum kind of slide a little bit towards the Rockets. The first pitch out after getting a run. This is ideal for Toledo, Michigan. Kind of a knack for playing close games this season. Not saying they need a run in this inning, but would certainly love to slow down that Rocket offense.
And first pitch is inside for ball 1 to Darren Eddy. Yeah, you mentioned it. And we've mentioned that the Rockets have been able to put runs in, and Michigan needs to continue to add on. They've left a lot of opportunities to do so already in this game. That 0-1 pitch is in the dirt for ball 2.
Give Toledo some credit for grinding here.
Mm-hmm.
Both kind of on the mound, getting the key outs that they've needed to, but then also at the plate. That's why you've got 9 innings, and you keep grinding, you keep learning something from every at-bat. They've done that tonight.
The 2-0 is called. Strike. Nice pitch. Painting the outside part of the plate.
Certainly was that backdoor kind of off-speed pitch we've talked about today. A little bit different coming from that left-hand side, but looks like they're going back to it again here.
2-1 to Tabor. He went fastball that time, but it was outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Like the call. Followed backdoor slider with the kind of hard backdoor fastball. A little two-seam action on it, so another type of break, changing speeds, but down 3-1 here.
Here is said 3-1 pitch. Grounded over to third, behind the bag. Nice snag by Wright, who will fire on a hop over to first. Got it. What a play by Wagner at first base to scoop that one up. The 5-3 putout gets the second out here in the inning.
That was a nice play, particularly right over there at third. That ball was pretty close to hitting the bag on the hop.
Mm-hmm.
Stays with it, makes a nice throw over. It's just a little low, but
yeah, really nice snag by J.P. Wagner out first as well. But you mentioned it right, backing up behind the bag, having to read that bounce. Make a long throw from behind third over across the diamond. He does just that. Now we'll go back to the top of the orders of calls. Strike 1 to A.J. Garcia. So 2 outs, no balls, and 1 strike. The pitch to Garcia is called strike 2.
Speak some volumes here. This is Garcia's 4th at-bat of the game in the 5th inning. He's the leadoff hitter. Michigan only 4 runs to show for it. Obviously, 4 runs through 4 and a bit innings is pretty solid, but
the 0-2 pitch is grounded softly foul on the first base side.
They've had some nice approaches. I've commented on their nice approach at the plate, but got to be able to capitalize on these runs. But and then as we've talked about, Toledo's scrapping here tonight.
I wish we had the ability to see exactly how many runners Michigan's left on base. Here's the 0-2. Check swing called strike 3. Nice inning by Tabor. 1, 2, 3 go the Wolverines. And that'll be it for the top half of the 5th inning. Score remains 4-1 in favor of the Wolverines. The first 1-2-3 inning for Michigan from an offensive standpoint. And we'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Chase Allen still on the bump for the Wolverines. He had a really good outing, as you said. So we'll see how Michigan. You mentioned it. You feel like the momentum has shifted a little bit in favor of the Rockets, and they scored the 1 run last half inning, or their last time at the plate. This top half of the 5th inning, they go 1-2-3 with a really nice effort by Tabor on the mound. And now we'll see how the bats can go here in the bottom half of the frame. They're going to have the bottom half of the order will be Wagner, Schloven, and then back to the one hitter in Mac Ewitz. And then if they got on, you'll get the best hitters in this Rocket lineup in Pike and Walton and White. And we'll see if the Toledo can string something together here.
Certainly is, yeah. You mentioned it, right, with the order that's coming up. If Toledo's going to make a run in this game, now seems like a prime opportunity to do so. Allen kind of getting into that third time through the order, if the bottom of the order here does its job for Toledo, but first pitch is outside to Wagner. But to your point, good opportunity for Toledo, but also big opportunity for Allen to get through 5 innings of good quality starting pitching here.
He'll take that inside for ball 2. You're right. If he can get through this 5th inning, he gets in line for the win and puts this Wolverines team in a really good spot to see how the bullpen can close the game out. We'll see. That's assuming that he just goes 5. We'll see if he pitches more than that. The 2-0 pitch calls strike 1.
Started to get behind a few batters, though. It was something he did really well in the 2nd, 3rd, and early in that 4th inning of work where got ahead of the batters, and now he's playing some catch-up.
And he catches up here. Now he evens the count at 2. Chase Allen's high is 6 innings pitched on the season. He did that most recently against Southern California early in February. That pitch is check swing. The appeal at 3rd does not go, so the count will be full at 3-2 to the leadoff hitter J.P. Wagner, the freshman from Toledo. The Toledo, Ohio native for the Rockets. Chase Allen will get a fresh baseball. Looks in and deals. That pitch is inside, ball 4. So another leadoff walk, 2nd consecutive inning, I believe, at the leadoff walk for the Rockets. And as we get to the 9 here in Schloven, runner on first and nobody out here for Toledo.
Yeah, Allen, again, talked about getting behind batters, caught back up at this one, but then ultimately lost the battle. Needs to get ahead here. And Michigan, we talked about it, very good at double plays. Allen would certainly like one here.
I mentioned 2nd nationally, only behind Purdue. This pitch is going to be bunted towards 3rd. Fields it, makes the play, is Caruso. Runner advances to 2nd, though. But a successful bunt by the number 9 hitter, Schloven, advancing the runner with the first out to bring it to the top of the order.
That was a great read by Caruso. You see the bunt square, and you see him sprint in instantly. That bunt, so not the greatest, kind of popped up in the air. It's a good distance, but anytime that bunt gets up in the air, it makes it so much easier for charging baseman to field, where if it's bouncing on the ground a little bit, it can hop a little bit and pick up a little bit more water potentially that's on the grass, make it a little slippery, more slippery.
As the first pitch is swung on and missed, Caruso also did a good job setting his feet. Now he knew he had some time to get the throw over to first. He knew he was not going to get 2nd, so he checked it, but he didn't do much there. And important to make sure you get at least 1 out. Runner on 2nd, though. Here's the 0-1. High for 1 ball, 1 strike.
Allen's starting to lose a little bit on that fastball. It's been sitting around 86 after 88, 89 earlier in the game. We do have some action in the Michigan bullpen. I'd imagine that this is Allen's inning to get out of, but another batter or 2 and his night is over.
That ball is 1 hop snagged by Rogers, 2-1 now. And I just look over on the Red Wings game. Is on the TV to my left. I just saw the Red Wings score to tie the game at 1 in the first period in Montreal. Just had to sneak a peek there. For any Wings fans listening here. But here's a 2-1. That ball skied into center field. Under it is Garcia. He'll make the play. Runner tags for a moment, but he'll retreat, forcing the throw in. Throw is on target. So the runner, Wagner, will hold at second base. And that's 2 outs now here in this inning.
Much better throw in from Garcia there. I think the runner had the hard test on, just given Garcia's kind of
in the last half inning,
ground ball and back into the infield. His last throw attempt, but be a quality start from Chase Allen if he can get this one last out, but tough guy to do it against in Garrett Pike.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Here's the first pitch to the junior. That ball's low for ball 1. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rockets trail by 3. That ball's lined down the right field line. It's fair into the corner. This is going to bring in a run. Garrett Pike with a stand-up double. It's a 2-run lead now for Michigan as Garrett Pike got a hold of the first pitch, or the second pitch, and he lined it down the right field line. Now Luke Walton will come up with a chance to add to this inning for the Rockets, who have scored 1 run the past 2 frames and trying to claw back in this ball game.
Nice piece of hitting by Pike, fastball up in the zone again. As that velocity has gone down, pitch becomes more hittable, lined into that right field corner.
First pitch to Walton is an off-speed pitch taken called to strike 1.
And that is a nice pitch right there. You know Chase Allen, if you're Chase Allen and if you're the Michigan pitching coach, that this is his last batter of the game. If they get a hit, he's done. If they get an out, he's done as well. Way to start with a first pitch strike.
0-1 is sky deep into right center field. Garcia's under it. He'll make the play, though, to retire the side. So the Rockets, for back-to-back innings, pick up a run to cut into the Wolverines' lead. 4-2 is the score through 5 innings of play here at Fifth Third Field until as the sun sets here in downtown Toledo, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in with us here.
As we get set to go here, top of the 6th from Fifth Third Field here in Toledo, Ohio. Michigan 4, Toledo 2. Will be Voigt, Longo, and Priest up for the Wolverines. Facing Jacob Tabor, the lefty for Toledo. Sat Michigan down in order in the previous inning, I believe for the first time in the game.
And he's looked good, too, in the southpaw for the Rockets. And we'll see if he can keep the momentum going that we've mentioned. Toledo has started to slowly build, getting a run these past 2 innings. And they have another successful inning defensively. They can get a quick 3 up, 3 down, get the offense right back out there. And who knows how this game can wind up. It's still anyone's game, lots of time left, and both teams are capable of putting runs on the board in chunks. As the Toledo Mud Hens mascot trying to get this crowd going, standing on the third base dugout.
Toledo's gotten going as of late. It was all Michigan early. They jumped out to a 4-0 lead, left plenty of runners on base, which as this game creeps into the later innings and the score creeps ever closer, begin to wonder Michigan has missed their opportunities. Mitch Voigt steps into the batter's box for the Wolverines from the right-hand side, facing Jacob Tabor for Toledo. Voigt 0 for 3 so far today. One of Michigan's best players on the season, hitting .320. Swings at a first pitch fastball that's blown right by him for 0-1. Struck out in his last at-bat. Not a common occurrence for Voigt this season. Now grounds his ball back up the middle. Diving play by the shortstop, thrown over to first. Got him in time on the hop. Scholven with an excellent diving play, and then Wagner with another pick over there at the first base bag to get Voigt by half a step.
Yeah, that's a great play by Scholven, moving over, ranging to his left. Snagged it, quickly got back to his feet and fired a one-hopper that was nicely snagged by Wagner again to get that first out.
Joe Longo digs in, the righty, hitting .308 on the season and limited at-bats, 52 at-bats for Longo this year. On-base percentage of .357, swings over a curveball that bounces away, but count moves to 0-1. Second pitch is a fastball just inside. Breaking ball. Count moves to 1-1. One out here. Top of the sixth. Michigan 4, Toledo 2. Longo in the box for the Wolverines. Next pitch, the fastball low and away from Jacob Tabor, who's come in and really settled down a Toledo pitching staff that has had some issues early in this game.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He worked the 1-2-3 inning. Last half inning, the inning before, he worked out of a jam that he came into.
Tabor misses away with the 2-1 pitch. Count moves to 3-1 to Longo. And we've got a equipment malfunction, it seems.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but Braden White looks like he's getting a new glove. Not sure what the issue was with his previous glove, but he's got fresh mitt.
Always important, particularly at the catching and first base positions, have that extra glove broken in just in case some things go wrong. Receiving a lot of balls. The 3-1 pitch from Tabor is a off-speed pitch that's up and away, and Michigan gets a runner on first. It's Joe Longo.
A nice at-bat from Longo coming in off the bench. Obviously played defensively that last half inning, but his first at-bat working that 5-pitch walk and getting Michigan a runner on base for the first time in a couple of half innings. We'll see if Michigan can get a couple runs back that they've given up.
Priest, the freshman, digs in, takes the first pitch. That's off-speed upstairs. A couple of strikeouts tonight for the freshman. He's been hitting the ball as of late for the Wolverines, offering some nice depth, getting an opportunity here tonight. Second pitch, fastball up and in.
And we talked about earlier in the broadcast as the catcher White will meet with Tabor at the mound for a quick visit. The opportunity to get some extra reps in for the younger guys during these midweek games. Obviously, you're in the midst of the Big Ten slate. Michigan third place in the Big Ten at 8-4, coming off of a series win against the Golden Gophers at home, and got the rival Buckeyes in town this upcoming weekend. It's important to keep everyone fresh during this long baseball season, and
is an opportunity. Mound visits over. Dig back in. 2-0 count, 1 out. Runner on first. Change up in there over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Michigan got out to 4-0 lead. Toledo scored the last 2 to make this a ball game. Next pitch is swung on and missed. Little breaking ball down and away. Count evens at 2-2.
that's a nice pitch there. Evening the count and chance to.
Tabor sets, and after a long look over to first, fires a breaking pitch inside for ball 3. Full count here, 1 out, top 6. Longo over at first. Not a great threat to run, but never know these days. Tabor sets, fires, fastball, called strike 3. Priest goes down looking, and a big out for the Rockets. 2 down here in the top of the 6th.
I think Priest might have been a little high enough stairs, and he was getting ready to toss that bat over. That looks like it caught the zone. He maybe Priest was trying to sell the call a little bit. You got to do that on a tight pitch. Now there's 2 outs now with the runner on first for Navarro.
So Navarro steps in, right-handed side of the box, takes a fastball up and away. Navarro ground ball and a sacrifice bunt today. Neither of those will suffice here with 2 outs in this inning. Michigan up 4-2. 7 hits tonight for the Wolverines. It's been part of a prolific offensive season for them as Tabor delivers a beautiful backdoor slider to even the count at 1 apiece.
You mentioned with the 7 hits, just the inability to capitalize on a couple opportunities. If you're Michigan, you're hoping it does not become the story of this game if you could manage to get out of here with the win, but it's definitely something that on the back of your mind.
Tabor sets, deals. That pitch is fouled off the bat and then off the glove of White. Count moves to 1-2. Big pitch here. Toledo creeping back into this game. Rockets winners of 5 of their last 7. Michigan winners of 6 of their last 8. 2 good teams playing some good baseball. Here, Tabor's set. With the 1-2, looks over to first. Now Rocks fires. Off-speed pitch, kind of floated onto the infield, and it's an easy play for McEwich. Toledo gets out of the inning. Tabor has done his job as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Michigan 4, Toledo 2. Unable to take advantage of that walk of Joe Longo are the Wolverines. And we head to the bottom of the 6th, and it's a pitching change for Michigan. But talked about it, 7 hits for the Wolverines, 4 walks as well. Only 4 runs on the scoreboard, could come back to bite them later.
Yeah, definitely has the opportunity to, but you can't change those at bats in those innings. You have to look forward here, and it's all about the defense getting the job done on the mound and try to re-establish the offense that you had earlier in the game that was really shut down well by Tabor. As we have a new pitcher for the Wolverines trying to hold on to this one with going to the bullpen now for the remainder of this contest.
It'll be number 20, Ricky Kidd, taking the bump for the Wolverines, the junior from Trenton, Michigan. 6'1", 185. Powerful frame.
Yeah,
he struggled a little bit on the mound this season. 6 ERA. This will be his 15th appearance for the Wolverines, and as we've talked about a little bit, if Michigan wants to make a run both in Big Ten play and potentially some postseason play, they're going to need their bullpen to start shaping up, and guys like Kidd are going to have to do a better job going forward.
And his last outing, he pitched 3 1/3, and he did well. He allowed no runs, just gave up 3 hits and 2 strikeouts. But he was a starting pitcher when these two teams faced off in Ann Arbor, and he did not have the best outing. He gave up 6 runs. Only 1 of them was earned, though, so he did not get the defensive help that he needed. So if the defense plays strong behind him, if he could build off the momentum of his last appearance, you get a couple innings out of Kidd and move into the later parts of this ballgame.
We talked to Josh Fegley before game, assistant coach for Michigan. He said a lot of the improved play was about him, about the team calming down and really finding their form, not trying to do too much and play to their own strengths. And as you mentioned with Kidd, in his last outing looked a lot more comfortable. As Braden White steps in for the Rockets single in his last at-bat. He's been hitting well as of late, the junior from Westerville, Ohio. Looks at a fastball in there for strike 1.
And going off to the comments made earlier, you mentioned, obviously Michigan had a really tough non-conference slate facing the likes of Arkansas and Oklahoma State and Oregon State.
This kid deals in strike 2 on the corner.
But when you face those really tough teams, and obviously Michigan didn't fare amazing as well as you'd like to in that non-conference slate, but it's good experience as you move into Big Ten play, and we've seen that as a pitcher swung on a miss for a strike 3. It's a good test early in the year. Get those jitters of the early season out of the way and get a feel for where you stand, and then we've seen Michigan do that as they've improved in the early part of Big Ten play.
Listen, as you mentioned, excellent start for Kidd. 2 fastballs and then a swing and a miss on a beautiful slider. He's set and deals a fastball inside and low to for the Rocket batter Jackson, who's 0 for 2 tonight.
Shift is on again to Owen. Got 3 players to the right side of second base, including one shallow left field at Mullins.
Kid fires another fastball in there that's fouled back. Jackson in the hole, 0-2. Excuse me, count as 1-1. First pitch was low and in. Kid from the windup. Kicks and deals. Fastball ripped hard down the first base line. An excellent play by Longo. He'll take a light jog over to the bag and beat the runner to make the out. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. After a diving play down the first baseline by Joe Longo.
Yeah, that's a nice snag down the line. Made it look routine, but that's not an easy play, ranging over down the line to his left. And get that second out here in this inning. Try to get a nice 1-2-3 inning, which would be big for Michigan to move forward these final few innings.
Certainly would be. It feels like nothing's been efficient for Michigan as of late. Trey Wright steps in. RBI single in his last at-bat. Third baseman putting together a solid season, hitting .299 coming into tonight. The junior from Jackson, Ohio. Goes down 0-1 in the count after foul, and then takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Michigan jumped out early. Toledo's been clawing back ever since, but Ricky Kidd has taken the bump and done a good job for the Wolverines as the bunt is fouled back by Wright. So the count moves to 1-2. 2 outs here, bottom 6. 4 runs, 7 hits for Michigan. 2 runs, 5 hits for Toledo. It's been a fun game here from 5th, 3rd field. Kidd from the windup, sets, deals. Nasty curveball is low, but my goodness, did that have some swing on it.
And good eye there by Wright, laying off on that when you said it. Really good spin. I missed the speed on that pitch, but good eye to even the count at 2.
2-2 pitch from Kidd is a curveball called strike 3. Ricky Kidd with an efficient 1-2-3 inning for the Wolverines. They maintain their lead at 2 runs. It's 4-2 Michigan as we move to the top of the 7th here in Toledo.
Yeah, perfect inning for Ricky Kidd coming out of the pen, working the 1-2-3 inning. And now it's time for the Michigan bats to try and get some insurance runs up to, trying to build on that a little more. As a TOLEDO chant being rung out here. As we get set for the top of the 7th inning.
So Ryan Hughes will now take the bump for Toledo. A tall, lanky righty. This is pitcher number 5 for Toledo. It's been the epitome of a bullpen game for the Rockets tonight.
And Ryan Hughes making just his 5th appearance in the year, and he did not pitch at all last year in his freshman campaign. He's got a higher ERA at 9.82. He's given up 4 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Does have 6 strikeouts to 4 walks, so we'll see what this righty can bring out of the pen for the Toledo Rockets.
It'll be Caruso, Mullins, and Rogers for the Wolverines. Scoreless since the 4th. Started with a key play of the day, that one that separated them. The 2 RBI single with the bases loaded from Will Rogers in the 3rd. Michigan tacked on runs in the 2nd and 4th as well. Been stringing together some hits. Cole Caruso has 2 of those hits tonight, 2 for 3. Couple base knocks. As mentioned, the 5th appearance here for Ryan Hughes in a 4-2 ball game. Top 7 from Toledo, 5th, 3rd field. The host venue for tonight. Hughes delivers a fastball over the heart of the plate for strike one.
He's got a nice little leg kick on his release. We've seen some different variety of arm angles and pitch types from these different pitchers that the Rockets have brought out today.
Working out of the stretch, another fastball catches the outside corner this time, and Hughes is quickly up 0-2 in the count. Caruso hitting .250 on the season, goes down on strikes, swung over the top of a curveball. Looked like he might have nicked it, but the catcher White holds on a 3-pitch strikeout for Hughes.
Yeah, really nice pitch. Looked like it was going to be in the top of the zone. It just dropped last minute inside, and nice first at-bat for Ryan Hughes.
And
a quick mound visit.
Well then, a pitching change for Toledo. This is fun.
Now, in the MLB, this would not be allowed because you have to face at least 2 hitters, but not in college. Looks like Caden Klein is going to be coming in for Toledo to pitch. But Hughes did his job. He got the 1 hitter out. Nice strikeout. Nice easy day in the a nice easy afternoon of day's work for Hughes, and gets the job done with Caden Klein coming in now to relieve him with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Klein from Defiance, Ohio. He's a transfer from Ohio State, but he did not play for the Buckeyes in his career. And in high school, Caden Klein, he struck out 68 of 173 batters that he faced. So struck out 40% of the hitters he faced. He's got some nasty stuff. We'll see how that translates here.
I believe he is making his first appearance of the season.
I didn't even look at that yet. Yeah.
For Toledo, I could not find him on the earned run average page.
This is his first career start, or first career appearance, I believe. So we'll see what the...
Memorable moment for the young man. Comes in with 1 out in the top of the 7th against the Wolverines. Caruso was the right-handed batter, and I believe Mullins is a left-handed batter. I really hope Toledo do not go back to the bullpen for the righty Will Rogers after this.
They have 2 players warming up in the pen. The bullpen has been busy all day long to our left for Toledo. Michigan's bullpen is empty.
Yeah, I'd expect they go back to Ricky Kidd after his dominant 1-2-3.
Yeah, he had a really good first half. And
talk about wanting to speed up the game, and then promptly going to potentially 3 pitchers in an inning for Toledo. And I understand it's a bullpen game, but
maybe try and get Michigan try and get them out of their flow with these pitching changes as well. It's a mind game.
Potentially, but first guy just struck the 1 dude out in 3 pitches, and
they looked good too. He looked good on the mound. But we'll see what Klein has. Like I said, he struck out 40% of the hitters he faced in college or in high school. Obviously, it's high school; it's a different animal. But making his first career appearance, we believe, based off of our statistics. He's a 2021 Ohio State Scholar Athlete. Of note. This is a longer mound. This is a longer pitching change than.
I believe Michigan is making some changes as well. Looks like Park will be the batter for the Wolverines.
Look, Yuzong Park is coming in.
Yuzong Park.
The 1 eternity later, SpongeBob little thing came on, and
Park 10 at-bats this season, 3 hits in those 10 at-bats, and they went with the righty, so Toledo's pitching change, get the lefty on lefty, did not work. Good night for the freshman Mullins. Park swings, chops 1 over to third. That's right, makes a play. High throw over to Wagner, steps on the bag though, and it's an out. 1 pitch out, 4 pitches total, and Toledo's got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
A nice routine play, and the throw is a little high, but good job by the first baseman Wagner to just understand that he had a lot of time at first, just make the play and just land on the bag. And no pitching change here. Klein will face the second hitter here.
Rogers digs in. Couple singles for him tonight. Fastball in at his back foot. He gets it out of the way, so it'll be ball 1. The key hit tonight came from Will Rogers, 2 RBI single as he takes a curveball over the heart of the plate back in the 3rd inning. Gave Michigan that 3-run cushion. It eventually moved up to 4 before being cut back to 2 here. So we are in the top of the 7th, 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Changeup. Well out in front of by Rogers. Count moves to 1-2.
That's a really good pitch there on the 76-mile-per-hour changeup. Getting Rogers to swing ahead of it. And right now, Rogers hits the difference, the 2-run single.
Off-speed pitch is off the plate from Klein. Count moves to 2-2. As he gets set from the windup, the 2-2-2 Rogers kicks fired. His fastball grounded over to Shulvin, gobbles it up easily and tosses it over to first. 1-2-3 inning for Toledo. Rockets have gotten back into this game as we head to the bottom of the 7th, but not before the 7th inning stretch.
Stretch time here, and the game's definitely from the pitching has definitely improved here. I'm going to turn on the what's it called?
We turn on the broadcast.
Let's turn on the broadcast.
So come stretch with us. So we got to get into the image there.
Where'd it go? There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to.
Oh, the camera's a little high.
A little high. I don't know if we moved it or something.
I think we moved it around a little bit.
There we
hello,
go.
Everybody. Daniel
Welcome
Olson here. Peter Nasr. Thank you for tuning in to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. It's been one heck of an experience tonight, Peter. We talk about, you know, just coming down here to the AAA affiliate ballpark for the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
And we've gotten a good game. 6 runs total. Michigan got the first 4, as mentioned. Toledo's kind of scrapped back into this game with 2. Michigan feels like they've left some chances out there. This rookie kid takes the mound again for Michigan, but 3 more chances here for Toledo. Based on what you've seen from Kidd and this Michigan bullpen kind of in their last few starts, but also throughout the season, it seems like we could be set up for a solid finish here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, and we've seen Toledo work some counts. Now Ricky Kidd's they've seen him for 3 at-bats. We'll see if the coaching staff has noticed anything to relay to the hitters, but this is an important inning for Toledo. Just get some more momentum. They've kind of cooled off after scoring a couple early or middle of the game, and both sides really have offensively. I think the pitching has really gotten the upper hand recently. But we've seen some good pitching. We've seen some solid hitting, some couple of nice defensive plays on both sides of the ball. Overall, it's been a really exciting game, and still anyone's game. And this is a big at bat as we get ready to roll here.
Yep, Koznak will step into the box for the Rockets. Right fielder struggled tonight. Couple outs, grounded into a double play. As Kidd fires a off-speed pitch low and in. Count moves to 1-0. So we open up the bottom of the 7th. Kidd from the windup now. Set steals pitch number 2 of the at-bat. It's a bunt. It's a charging play, and it's thrown over to first. Did he get it in time? No. Caruso came in quickly, had to make the backhand, and it was a great stab over there at first by Longo, but Koznak beat it out, and the Rockets have a runner on first.
Yeah, perfectly executed bunt. We've seen a couple of those today. Garcia with a really good effort, though, and just beating him by a step.
Ooh, looks like a good call on our monitor here.
Yeah, that's definitely a good safe call.
Runner on first is Koznak. We've mentioned Michigan's proficiency for getting double plays. They could use one here. Kidd sets, deals. Curveball is low and in. Start the at-bat. J.P. Wagner steps in. He's got a ground out and a walk tonight. from the stretch. Kid fires, deals fastball, gets away from the catcher Rogers. A bit of a lazy stab at it, and Toledo's got a runner in scoring position.
And those are the kind of plays you can't have, especially with no outs. You lose the chance of the double play. And now Toledo has, with nobody out, a chance. Yeah, that ball just got away with him trying to backhand it, like you mentioned, on the off-speed pitch, and just kind of got a little out there.
Runner on second is Kosnick. No outs here for Toledo, and now it's 3-0 count as Kid misses wide. It's funny how a bunt can be a part of the momentum shift, but we've started to feel it since the bottom of the fourth. Toledo's clawed back into this game. 3-0 now from Kid. Fastball catches a part of the plate for strike one.
You mentioned you could always use the small ball can be effective, especially trailing only 2. Obviously, Toledo known for some of the power that they possess, especially recently, but trying to manufacture runs other ways, trailing by only 2.
Kid catches the outside corner with another fastball for strike 2. So full count here, 3-2. No outs, bottom 7. Rockets looking to claw back into this ball game that Michigan's been out in front of from the jump. Kid kicks, fires. This fastball is lifted into the air and foul over the third base side.
That one hit the roof. We've seen a couple of those today.
They have the roof has taken a few dents on this fine evening. Temperature now the low 50s. Sun has gone beneath the horizon. As we'll do the 3-2 all over again. This ball is a curve ball. A little change of pace there from Kid. Is fouled back by Wagner. First baseman's made some nice defensive plays for Toledo today, and this is a quality at-bat. Comes the 8th pitch of it. Is swung on and missed. Fastball up and in was too much to handle for Wagner, and a big out for the Wolverines, delivered by Ricky Kidd.
That was a really good at-bat on both sides. Both parties battling there, and Kidd getting the last laugh with that one. Nice upstairs heater. Swung on and missed.
Charlie Shulvin digs in. He's made a couple nice defensive plays as well. It's been a defensive gem from both teams. As far, he had a diving play to rob a Mitch Voigt base hit earlier. He'll take a curveball from Kidd that finds strike zone. 0-1. 1 out. Runner on second is Konzak. Toledo down 2. Kid from the stretch takes a long look over at second. Now fires a curveball that does not curve enough. Shulvin will walk his way down to first after a hit by pitch, and now runners on first and second for Toledo as we move back to the top of the order with Mikowick.
And the first time today, Toledo has a tying runner on base in this ball game. As Michigan going to the, looks like Denner warming up in the pen for Michigan. We'll see how much longer Kidd will be going. And as I look down and back up, we have a mound visit. We'll see if they make the change or not.
Head coach Tracy Smith taking his time out there.
But if they do go to Denner, he's obviously one of the most experienced arms in this lineup, or in this bullpen for the Wolverines. He made his 79th appearance over the weekend, where he pitched 2 2/3 innings of just 1-run ball. But it looks like for now they're going to stick with Ricky Kidd, or they're just going to wait till the last minute till the umpire kicks him out, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The gamesmanship, trying to get your bullpen guy a little extra, a few more pitches out there in the pen to get him loose.
Some old school baseball from the Wolverines as we've got a pitching change. On comes Jacob Denner. It's a solid performance from the Kid. Got some big outs, but a little bit of a jam here for the Wolverines. Rockets clawing back into this ball game. We're down 4-0. I've made it 4-2. Runners on first and second with Konzak and then Shulvin on a bunt single and a hit by pitch.
A small ball. You gotta get your runners on any way you can when you're trailing by 2. And this is not the first time that Denner's faced these Rockets. He pitched 2 2/3 innings of just one hit ball in Ann Arbor when these two teams fought and when these two teams battled in March. So now the Southpaw making his 80th appearance. He's just 2 1/3 innings away from tying Brian Steinbach for 10th all-time in innings pitched in Michigan Wolverines history. We'll see if he goes the rest of the way here in this game and gets to that point.
2 1/3, you say? That would be
2 1/3
the
to
end
tie
of the
it.
game.
So
2 2/3 would get him the record, or excuse me, move it to 10th.
So he could tie it, barring extra innings, obviously.
Well, with 1 out, we could get the 8 outs needed to set it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Some quick maths.
Yep.
He's been prolific in terms of innings pitched, but also strikeouts as well. I believe he'd need 4 of those, 5 of them to move into 7th all-time Michigan history.
And I mentioned here briefly that he had a solid appearance over the weekend against Minnesota. We'll look for the Gloucester, New Jersey native to try and hold on to this lead with a tying run on base. The tying run's on first base.
As Makawick steps up into the batter's box for Toledo, 289 entering tonight's game. He's gone 2 strikeouts and a flyout tonight, 0 for 3, but an opportunity to turn it all around. He resembles the leading run at the plate. 1 out, bottom 7. Denner sets and delivers off-speed pitch low. Makes it 1-0. Denner sets and deals. This one is lifted high into the sky and foul. Does it catch the roof?
I like there are a lot of active kids running for. Ooh, that kid is leaping up. Oh my!
He's got some hops.
Good for him. He climbs up.
Spider-Man is certainly a role model here as Denner delivers. It's a ground ball that's chopped foul. Count moves to 1-2. Makawick, the senior from Millbury, Ohio, would love nothing more than to deliver a special moment in his senior season right here.
Does have 9 home runs on the year. A 10th one would change this ball game.
Denner from the stretch delivers. Off speed is low. Good block by Rogers. Keep the ball in front of him. Moves the count to 2-2. 1 out, bottom 7. Runner on first is Shulvin. Runner on second is Konzak, who's shown some speed in right field this evening. This ball is lifted high into the sky and drifting foul. Left fielder Navarro gave chase, but alas, nothing to catch in the end, and we'll redo the 2-2.
Another battle of an at-bat here, and as we get closer and closer to the big time at-bat, every at-bat in this stage of the game, especially with 2 runners on, is important. You can feel it.
Denner will check his wristband. Now check the catcher for the sign. Looks at second, kicks and deals. It's a off-speed pitch that is off the plate. Count moves to 3-2. Good battle by Makawick. 1 out here. A pivotal pitch coming up in this ball game from Jacob Denner, most experienced pitcher on this Wolverines roster. The lefty will deal, and it's a called strike 3. Slider in there at the knees. And the senior comes through for Michigan.
Big time pitch there. Catching him looking. Nice job by Rogers to frame that pitch in the zone. And Garrett Pike, who drove in the first run for Toledo with the double, has a chance to salvage this inning with 2 runners on and 2 outs now.
Pike rips one into left center. This ball's drifting towards the left field track, and it's a running play, and it's off the wall. Controlled in the center field. 2 runners are coming around to score. It's a game-tying double for Garrett Pike. Back-to-back doubles for him. And his last 2 at-bats in this game is all square at 4.
First pitch, again, I believe. He's attacking early, Pike is, and that one he lofted deep into the Toledo night. Garcia just couldn't get there. Made a valiant sliding effort. We'll look at the replay. Just over his head. And we got a fresh ball game tied here at 4.
Runner on second is Pike. It's Walton in the box for Toledo, who looks at a fastball low and away.
I think it's snagged by Rogers. Like, backhand snag. Made that look way easier than it probably is.
Certainly did. It
to keep the runner at second.
Double by Pike got over the head of both Navarro and Garcia. One hop to the wall as Denner spikes one again, low and away. Count moves to 2-0. Luke Walton, redshirt freshman from Sandusky, Ohio. Chance to give the Rockets their first lead of the night with a base hit. Swings and misses at the 2-0. Foul tipped back into the glove of Rogers. And that was an important pitch for Denner, who now sets in the stretch. Takes one quick look back at the runner on second and fires fastball upstairs. Count moves to 3-1 on Walton. Walton 0 for 3 tonight. He's had a good season as the young man, hitting .362. Averages would suggest he's due as he fouls off a fastball into the net. Count moves to 3-2. 2 outs, bottom 7. Toledo making their push. It's all square at 4. Jacob Denner on the mound from Michigan, trying to get him out of this jam. Rocks and fires. Swung on and missed. Luke Walton goes down on strikes, but the damage is done. Garrett Pike with his second double in as many at-bats. Lofted one over the left fielder's head, and 2 runs came in to score. It was a big 2-out knock for Toledo, and we're all square at 4 as we head to the top of the 8th here from 5th for 3rd field in Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, the Toledo heart of the order, which we talked about throughout the broadcast, being the really dominant stretch of the 3-4 hitters, and Pike, one of the best 4. I'm sorry, the chicken dance is being shown on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
You want to put it on the broadcast cam and do the chicken dance?
I don't know about that.
I agree.
I mean, I did mention I'm a great dancer, but
you did. I won't hold you to it. But Pike, he's got 2 doubles. He's been the offensive.
He's been the catalyst tonight.
Yeah, that's a good word for us. Trying to think of a word. That was not going to pick a word better than catalyst on that one. But I mean, that's a fresh ball game, and top of the 8th now. Michigan's got to find something. They've been held scoreless these past few innings, and as
been held
Rocket,
hitless these past few
as the
innings
Rockets
as well.
pitching has really stifled these hitters.
So we've got Jackson Bergman now on the bump for Toledo. This is now pitcher number 7 of the evening. It's been a true bullpen effort, and we talked about it early in the game. We could feel that momentum start to shift in the bottom of the 3rd. Michigan did tack one on in the top of the 4th, but Michigan left a lot of runners on early, and it's coming back to bite them here late.
It definitely has, and I mentioned that, like, obviously you have to put that behind you and look forward, and you have to have that mindset that obviously you're not going to get those runners back. But I think just work at bats, get Michigan scored those runs through singles, not many extra base hits. They've been working counts, getting traffic on the base passes, and you don't need to hit a home run here and take the lead. You just gotta get runners on base one at a time, move them forward, maybe get a good bunt down, advance, play some small ball, which we've seen have some success in today. And your tie game, you just need one run. And
Bergman kicks and deals for ball 1. Making his 13th appearance on the season, 1-2 record with a 3.04 ERA, and misses inside with ball 2. A little off-speed pitch off the plate. 26 2/3 innings for Bergman. From the windup deal, this ball's fouled back by Dernetti, who's got a sac fly and an RBI tonight.
And Bergman's father, Sean, played collegiate baseball at Southern Illinois before being drafted by the Detroit Tigers. As
this ball runs inside and hits Dernetti, so Michigan will get a base runner on to start top of the 8th. It's been a big key for the Wolverines tonight. They've had some success getting that base runner on. As now Garcia digs in for what is his 5th at plate appearance of the night. Had a single to lead off the game on the first pitch of the game in the 1st and has been quiet since then.
But like we said, it doesn't matter how you get the runners on, hit by pitch. We'll see if Michigan tries a little small ball. Third baseman right is in a little bit, expecting bunt. Here it comes.
And Garcia unable to get it down in between the stripes. Goes foul, and the count moves to 0-1. Michigan 4, Toledo 4. Hits 7 apiece per side. Toledo's clawed back into this baseball game, but Michigan's got a runner on here, top 8. Garcia showing bunt early. He'll drop one down the third baseline, and it will do the job. Wright came in, makes the play. Wagner squeezes at first, and they get Garcia out, but a sac bunt for the freshman, and Michigan's got a runner in scoring position.
I really like that call. No outs. Move the runner over. Continue to play that small ball, and now you got a runner scoring position with only 1 out. You can have a quality at bat here, whether you get a single or even if just advance the runner to third, but you have an opportunity to get that go-ahead run closer with every at bat.
1 out, top 8. Quiet night for Mitch Voigt, looking to change that, but he takes a first pitch off speed pitch from Bergman. That was in the strike zone. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 fastball. In there at the knees for strike 2, and quickly Voigt, on what's been a quiet night for him, has gone behind. Bergman working quickly from the stretch. One look back at second. Curveball inside, hits Voigt. Costly mistake, and Michigan has runners on first and second.
Hey, that one's going to sting. You can tell Voigt felt that one a little bit, but ahead 0-2 to get that hit by pitch. No one is in the bullpen, but we do have a mound visit. But Michigan getting Voigt just getting on base, but now first and second load, you have the double play intact as Joe Longo is going to be due up as he pinch hit for Rustich earlier in the ball game, but a prime opportunity for Longo to get a big time hit here and put the Wolverines back in front.
Longo drew a walk in his 1 plate appearance so far tonight. Subbed in for Rustich, who got on base 3 times, all by the walk variety. Once was a hit by pitch. But again, Michigan runners on base. We'll see if they can make do with some runs here. Toledo put up a 2 spot in the bottom of the 7th. We're now here in the top of the 8th, 1 out. Beautiful 5th third field, the site of tonight's ball game. Second game of a home and home in this season series between Michigan and Toledo. We're now set. Bergman has a fastball that's in the dirt. Count moves to 1-0. Looks in for the sign. Gets one. Now sets, kicks, fires, fastball, off-speed pitch. Swung over and missed by Longo. Count moves to 1-1. You mentioned double play opportunity potential. Voigt over there at first with Dernetti on second. This ball is chopped foul and off the leg of Longo, so instant dead ball time call from the umpire.
You mentioned the double play it's got the middle infielders in. And Longo there were some gaps on either side between that you can try and find for a single.
As Bergman deals a fastball that's just upstairs. Home Toledo crowd that's shown out pretty well tonight. Not happy with that call. Count evens up at 2 apiece. So we get a quick replay of it here. It looks just a bit upstairs. Bergman now deals. Ground ball shortstop. Field on by Schloven, who charges, throws. Beautiful throw over to first. Kind of the underarm, sidearm variety. He's made some excellent plays over there, has Schloven.
The defense has been a full display for both sides today, and that's a tough play with the runners from second to third going in front of you, kind of distracting your vision a little bit. Schloven making a nice play, fires it over to first. Runners advance to second and third, though, so that's an opportunity for Michigan. A single will bring in 2 runs and get that lead right back here in the later part of this game.
Looks like a potential pinch hitter for the Wolverines. Waiting to see the
Matt Timbrook is coming in, I believe.
We've got this change, and Timbrook has been hot. 548 average over his last 10 games. Has got on base 3/5 of the time in those 10 games. He'll look to do some damage here.
He went 2 for 4 on Sunday, had an RBI double. Could use one of those right now.
Lefty digs in against the righty Bergman. Runner second and third, 2 outs here. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports as Bergman deals a curveball in there for strike 1. Student Radio, we try to cover all of these baseball games. We've had a blast here tonight, being treated to excellent scenery in the city of Toledo, Fifth Third Field. Playing host, Bergman deals fastball up the middle off of Bergman. It's going to be a foot race to the bag. Bergman throws it away from first, and 2 runs are going to score for the Wolverines. It hit Bergman in the wrist, came out, and then he threw it under the glove of Wagner over at first. Michigan aggressive on the base paths. Voigt scores along with Dernetti, and the Wolverines have a 2 spot here in the top of the 8th.
It looks like, yeah, that hit Bergman's wrist in his follow through, but it doesn't matter how you get those runners in. You could use a lucky bounce off the pitcher and an errant throw to bring in an extra run. Wolverines really manufacturing the 2 runs here in this inning through some small ball. Ball has not left the infield in this inning yet. The Wolverines retake the lead at 6-4. So props to Michigan. Looks like Bergman's okay after taking a pitch to the wrist. We'll see if they give him a couple warm-up pitches.
It's a hard hit ball by Timbrook, and Bergman will take a few warm-up pitches, but Timbrook stays hot. We're yet to see if that gets charged. Well, the throw over will be charged as an error.
Yeah, it already has been.
I can't imagine that I wouldn't be shocked if the first one is charged as a hit.
It should be a single error. Timbrook did not advance to second, but the first run should be an earned run.
Second one will be,
even though the pitcher had the error.
The pitcher made the error. It will be unearned as Bergman sets and deals again. This will slider outside. Looks like Michigan's made another change as well, digging in for the Wolverines is Alfredo Velasquez, who rips one up the middle. Velasquez had 1 hit on this season, now making 2.
Yeah, the Brother Rice product getting on base with a nice 2-out knock, keeping this inning alive. And now Michigan has a chance to really open this game up with a couple more runs, take advantage of the inability to bring in runs early in the ball game. If you can do it here in this inning, that stuff early on you'll feel okay with it if you could take advantage here.
Bergman deals, and Caruso lifts one high into the Toledo night into left. Back at the wall is Walton, who lost his footing but made the play. A bit of a scare there. Had to figure out what happened to the ball, but it found the glove of Walton, and he found the deck, even though the ball ended up in front of him. And Toledo gets out of it, but a nervy play there. Could have been a lot worse for the Rockets. Caruso lifted one deep into left. Michigan made the play, and despite the hit from Velasquez, the only time the ball left the infield. No RBIs on that hit. But Michigan scrapped out 2 runs in that top of the 8th thanks to an error from Bergman on a hard hit ball from Timbrook. The pinch hitter came through. As Denner takes the bump for the Wolverines, he's now got a 2-run lead and 6 outs to get for the Wolverines.
He's got a chance to redeem himself after giving up the lead that he had last half inning, and just 6 outs away, like you said. Yeah, really impressed with Michigan's ability to manufacture runs that last half inning. Obviously, they left 2 runners on base again. They, something that has been a bit of a problem in this game, but
it feels like they stole a couple that inning.
That inning, I agree. They definitely. You had the infield, the hit by pitch, bunt single, or not bunt single, but bunt to advance the runner, then another walk, and then that ball off from Timbrook off the pitcher's wrist. But in the ball, it doesn't matter how you put the runs on. Like at the end of the day, they got 2 runs in that half inning, and they were in a position to get a win if they could hold on defensively and get some solid pitching and good defense like they have had so far in this ball game.
So Velasquez, who had his first hit of the season, I mistakenly said it was his second, has now moved into left field for Michigan. It's Longo, Park, Dernetti, and Caruso around the infield for the Wolverines with Denner on the bump. Rogers still behind the plate. Denner delivers. It's a ground ball. Over to Dernetti. Gobbles it up, throws on over to first. Longo reaches down, squeezes the glove, and 1 out quickly for the Wolverines. And Jacob Denner, who inches ever closer to becoming 10th all-time in career innings pitched.
You can't ask for a better start to the inning. 1 pitch, nice routine ground ball.
That was Braden White, the catcher, with the ground out as Owen Jackson digs in. Quiet night for him. 0 for 3, and he lifts one deep into the sky in center. Garcia had trouble at first, ranges over to his left, but Velasquez calls him off and makes the play as that ball kind of tailed into left center. And a quick 2 outs for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a little breezy out here. It's been a little breezy out here, and that ball high in the sky, and it started out right on our line. It shifted all the way over to where Velasquez can make the play. But 2 pitchers, 2 outs. Perfect half inning so far. It's got to get 1 more hitter and Trey Wright.
A game of momentum. Michigan had it in the first few innings as Denner deals a off-speed pitch that Wright swings over for the first strike. 2 outs here. Bottom 8 from Toledo. Michigan 6, Toledo 4. Michigan scored the first 4. Toledo got the next 4, and then the Wolverines responded with 2 in the top of the 8th. Denner delivers an off-speed pitch above the top of the strike zone. Count moves to 1-1. Trey Wright, RBI single, stands in for Toledo. RBI single tonight. Denner, the lefty, delivers a fastball on the outside corner that Wright swings over. Count moves to 1-2. Michigan's regained that momentum. You can feel it kind of sucked out of the crowd here as the sun has continued to move further into the distance. The night sky is upon us as Wright fouls a fastball back into the street behind us.
I wonder if there are any baseballs that are just sitting on the street when we leave here. We might have to catch a souvenir if they actually reach the street.
Potentially, that would be cool to walk out of here with a souvenir. It's been a great experience here at Michigan Student Radio, WCBN Sports. Cover all of Michigan baseball that we can as Wright chops one over to third. Easy play for Caruso. Rips one across the diamond. Easy out. Longo makes the play. And it seems like we've got a bit of a commotion over at first. Something had a bit of an issue there with the way Wright was running to the bag or the way Longo's foot was on the bag.
I did not notice anything.
Umpire steps in between everybody, tells them to shut up and play on, which we will do. Top of the 9th, Michigan up 6-4 here. It was a 2-run ground ball that hit the pitcher at the top of the 8th.
That's the difference so far.
And that's been the difference after it was knotted up at 4. Toledo did an excellent job of fighting back into this game. Michigan left a lot of runs out there early. It'll still be Bergman on the mound for Toledo. But Tim Brooks' pitch hit Bergman in the wrist. It didn't get past him too far, and then he spiked one into the dirt. And Michigan had 2 runners go on as the home plate umpire here is now explaining to Toledo head coach Rob Reinstedel about what happened over there at first base. And it looks like, yeah, Longo got the back of his foot stepped on by Wright as he ran down, and not appreciative of that. Metal spikes, taken a few of those before. That did look like Longo's foot was on a bit more of the bag than it needed to be there, but regardless, a little bit of feistiness shown from the Michigan first baseman. Michigan catcher Rogers came over there as well.
You don't want to give them anything to latch onto this final inning, but
Park steps in, takes a off-speed pitch low from Bergman. Nobody warming up for Toledo.
Or Michigan.
Or Michigan, for that matter. Bergman from the windup delivers an off-speed pitch that's low and in the dirt. And on cue, Toledo's got a couple people warming up.
Announcer's drink there.
I know it's twice tonight as Bergman fastball outside, but maybe
this one less
it's
consequential,
necessary.
yeah.
Given getting to the 3-0 count for Park. 0 for 1 tonight. Takes a pitch in there for a strike, count moves to 3-1. Bergman from the windup deals. Did he go? He did not. Pitch was upstairs, so Park gets on. It's another leadoff runner for the Wolverines. 5th time that's happened tonight.
The catcher, Will Rogers.
As Rogers digs in, he had a key 2-run single back in the 3rd that gave Michigan an early 3-0 advantage. They tacked on one more in the 4th to go up 4-0. Then the Rockets squared it at 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan got 2 back in the 8th. First pitch to Rogers is dealt. Throw back to first, not in time. Catcher White tried to catch the runner Park sleeping. Close but no cigar there. Gets back in, counts 0-1. Believe pitch was a called strike. We'll check that, and we've got our answer as that pitch was upstairs for ball 1. Count moves to 1-1.
I like Michigan's continued ability to manufacture runners. Park working the walk, and here we'll see.
No, it's here. Rogers chops one up the middle. Back to Bergman. He fields. Throw onto the shortstop, Chauvin, who deals over to first. They got him. Beautiful 1-6-3 double play for Toledo. And there's quickly 2 outs in the 9th.
That's a nice job by Bergman, snaring his glove, taking his time to fire a nice ball to second for 1, and then the relay for the double play, especially with the error in the last half inning. That play was tougher, obviously, than this one, but making the routine play here and helping himself out.
Bergman sets and deals fastball in there. Called strike 1 to Kyle Dernetti. Quiet night, but an RBI. And now, of course, laces a single up the middle. My goodness, that's 3 or 4 from me tonight. The announcer's jinx.
He heard you through a little crack in our window. It's pretty chilly. I got my coat on.
Certainly has become a cool night here. The ball has not traveled at all. The wind's been blowing in.
We've seen a couple of deep balls get caught in the left field that maybe could have left the yard, but instead were.
Garcia digs in and takes a strike from Bergman. It's Dernetti on first. He's been there before. He had a hit by pitch in his last at-bat. Garcia 0 for 4 tonight and a sac bunt. This is 6th plate appearance. Takes strike 2. 0-2 count, 2 outs, top 9. Michigan 6 runs, 10 hits. Toledo 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Error proved to be costly as the runner goes, and there will be a play there, but only in name, as Dernetti slides in well before the throw arrives.
Yeah, it would have been a really tough play for White to get, as that pitch was well outside, and he had to its left, and then had to swing over to throw it from his right side. And
Bergman deals another slider that's outside. Charlie Shulvin, the shortstop for Toledo's, had a nice night tonight. Couple double plays, diving play earlier in the game to rob Mitch Voigt of a hit. Believe I've been calling him Joe on accident. I want to apologize. As Bergman now comes from the stretch and delivers a strike 3 called. Garcia goes down looking. Michigan puts up a 0 spot in the 9th as we head to the bottom of the 9th here at Fifth Third Field in Toledo. Michigan 6, Toledo 4. It'll be Denner on for the Wolverines, looking to close out the game, secure the win, and move into 10th all-time in innings pitched for Michigan. And Toledo looks to fight back into this game one more time. Should be a fun finish here, Peter.
yeah, I'm excited for this last half inning. We've seen both sides show some resolve in their at-bats throughout this game, as T-shirts are getting tossed into the crowd, getting them fired up for this last half inning. Bet Denner looking to get the I believe he'd get credit with the win, as he came on with the lead, gave up the lead, and got the lead back. So
We did. Chase Allen went 5 in the start for the Wolverines. Only gave up 2. It was a good performance from Allen, who's been inconsistent at times this year. He was in line for the win, and then Ricky Kidd came on, gave Michigan an inning and a third. Denner's been on ever since, but Kidd gave up a run, and then Denner gave up the hit to Garrett Pike, the double in the bottom of the 7th that squared this game at 4, and then Michigan, as you mentioned, Peter, scrapped out 2 runs in the top of the 8th, ground ball off the pitcher.
and I believe it'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Toledo to try and salvage this game for the Rockets down 2.
As Konzak digs in, he reached on a bunt, grounds one up the middle. Dernetti ranges over to his left, makes the play. An aggressive approach here lately from Toledo has not paid off, as Koznak is retired, and we've quickly got one out here as J.P. Wagner digs in.
And that's a nice play from Dernetti, fielding the ball across the second base bag, behind it, but across it, setting his feet, knowing the time he has to make the play over first base for the out.
Denner sets, deals curveball low and away. Rogers stabs, and it'll be ball 1. Toledo skyline in the background as Denner sets and fires a fastball in there for strike 1. Denner 1 out away from tying 10th all-time career innings pitched for the Wolverines. It's been well documented here as Wagner swings over a fastball for strike 2. And Toledo's running out of chances here. Denner looked like he motioned for a curveball. We'll see if he actually delivers one. It's a fastball that's chopped foul. Down the third base line into the Toledo bullpen. We've got some people there ready just in case this game goes to extras. Wolverines trying to close it out here. It's been a back and forth battle. Michigan jumped out early. Toledo came back. And the Wolverines quickly jumped back on top in their next chance at the plate, as this pitch is fouled back by Wagner. Good battle here. Denner wants another baseball. He will get one. And we'll do the 1-2 over again. Top of the 9th. Wagner 0 for 2 with the walk. Grounds one to second. This is Park. Makes the play. Longo secures. And the Wolverines are 1 out away from leaving Toledo with a win.
And a nice routine play by Park made it look routine. And last chance for the Rockets. We'll see if Slovin Sullivan, excuse me. I'm struggling with that name today.
As Charlie Shulvin digs
There you
in.
go.
Denner sets and delivers a changeup on the outside corner for strike one. Shulvin sack bunt, hit by pitch. And a double tonight. He's been excellent defensively as well. Fouls off a fastball that was in on his hands. Count quickly moves to 0-2. Michigan 6, Toledo 4. Jacob Denner trying to shut the door on the Rockets' chances. Here it's been a thrilling ball game from fifth, third field. Denner sets, fires. His curveball is in the dirt. Excellent block by Rogers. Not that it mattered very much. Shulvin, the freshman, laid off. And we'll live to see a 1-2 pitch from Denner. Michigan standard around the infield. Winners of 6 of their last 8. Make it 7 of 9. Curveball swung on and missed by Shulvin. Jacob Denner gets the save for the Wolverines and likely the win as well. It's Michigan 6, Toledo 4. Here from fifth, third field in Toledo, Ohio. And Peter, fun game to be a part of tonight. Wolverines showed up when it mattered most and took control at the end.
Yeah, a gritty win. The small ball, manufacturing the runs late, giving up the lead that you had the entire game, to be able to come right back and get it back, and then to finish the job for Denner to give up the 2 runs, but then to close it out with a solid pitching performance after that. Have to be impressed with this midweek win. Got the rival Buckeyes in town this upcoming weekend. And the Wolverines, they're playing good baseball right now, and this is the time where you want to start playing your good baseball. We've seen it for this Wolverines squad the past couple years where they make their runs in the Big Ten tournament to sneak into the NCAA tournament since their College World Series appearance a few years back. But this is the time you play the tough schedule early in the year, even if some of those games don't go your way, and it pays dividends. You get the team fighting. You get the team understanding their role and playing good baseball. And everyone did what they need to do today. Obviously, the hitting, they gave up some opportunities to add a lead early, but like sacrifice fly for a run, capitalizing late when they needed to, when they were down through the manufacturer run, getting a little break with the hit off of the pitcher. But doesn't matter how you get runs, if on the scoreboard it shows up the same way. And a quality win for Michigan to get the sweep against these Rockets, which is a quality team in their own right. This was a good home series with Toledo, to a good midweek battle between these two ball clubs, and a quality outing for Michigan, like I said, and should be happy to get a win here. First time in Toledo since 2000 for the Wolverines, and to come out on top in a really fun evening for both sides, and nice win for Michigan, and they should be happy heading the nice hour-long drive back to Ann Arbor.
Quality win for the Wolverines. Quality outing for Chase Allen, who went 5 strong, gave up 2. No decision for him tonight. Ricky Kidd, nice bullpen performance. Jacob Denner obviously came on, finished the job, moved 10th all-time on the innings pitched list for the Wolverines. It'll be a 6-4 win. Again, Michigan jumped out early. The 2-run single by Will Rogers gave him a 3-run advantage, tacked on another in the 4th, and then Toledo began to fight back. It was a couple doubles from Garrett Pike that drove in 3 runs, 1 in the 5th and 2 in the 7th, to get the Rockets all square, but then Michigan scored 2 with Mac Timbrook coming off the pine, hitting a hard hit liner back off the pitcher, and then a following error by that pitcher Bergman. 2 runs came around to score. Wolverines had 6, Toledo had 4, and that's how it ended. Thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. We truly appreciate you coming on. For Peter Nasr, I'm Daniel Olson. We will be back to cover all of Michigan athletics in the very near future. Michigan baseball this weekend, Michigan softball this weekend, Michigan women's and men's lacrosse, I believe, this weekend.
Spring
we will have
game,
the
too.
spring game as well, which is a lot of fun and it'll be exciting. So thank you for tuning in, and we will leave you as we always do with a good night and go blue.